high 96. Saturday and Sunday, times of sun and clouds continued hot and humid with a chance of a thunderstorm each afternoon. The high Saturday 96, Sunday's high 94. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now we've got sunshine, 84 degrees in downtown St. Louis at 9:04. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Chris Ranji, Amy, Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show.
You know who it is.
If you didn't know, this is called the show. On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
I am so excited.
I'm pretty excited.
It's a pretty nice day, isn't it? No, it sucks outside, but it's great in here. We are going to have a great day today in this studio at 104.1 FM KMOX.
If you're like flipping through the stations and you just heard this and you're thinking, wait, what am I listening to? Well, you want to listen all morning.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, dude, you want to listen every day.
But especially today because...
Yeah. Oh, we got a lot coming up.
We do have a lot coming up. Do you want me to say something?
Oh, sure.
Jim Belushi is going to be in Studio B.
Yeah, Jim Belushi is going to be here. Also, we have, the Blues Brother, brother of John. I mean, we're
Jim, brother of John.
Yeah, we have got we got a lineup today because we got Major Garrett coming in studio too. We have Julie Tristan from Y98 and KEZK. Matt Pauly will talk about them stinking Redbirds.
Well, that part.
But we're going to talk about them. No, people need to vent. 314-436-7900. Please visit with us today. Text and calls go there. Your voice messages go here. The Odyssey app. There's a button that you click it and you can send us a message. Super, super easy. You can also listen to the station, listen to Cardinals baseball, listen to podcasts from the Odyssey app. And if you're more of a visual person, you're a visual learner, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You find the KMOX news page or our Twitter account at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
Well, Mike Kehoe is balked at new police board members taking jobs with the St. Louis sheriff. And I got to tell you, we'll get into that in a second.
It's a real conflict of interest for you.
I don't know what to do.
And as you may have noticed, it's still hot. It's really
disgusting.
Hot. Some people say it's soupy. Some people say it's like an armpit. I think it's like pouring soup in your armpit.
There is no excuse for it to be as hot as it's been at 10 o'clock at night. Just no excuse for it. Also, the Cardinals, they got shut out. Again, man, they've been getting shut out a lot in the last few weeks, and they have lost the series to a miserable Colorado Rockies team. And yes, it does happen. You can lose to bad teams, but my God, Colorado is on pace to be worse than the worst team ever,
and I do
which was last year.
I want to note this too: the Colorado Rockies hadn't shut anyone out in 220 games. May of 2024. They haven't shut anyone out. It's a new record. That it took 220 games to shut someone out.
Man.
And by golly, the Cardinals did it.
I mean, good for us. If we're gonna do it, let's do it right. Do it right.
Yeah, it's not okay. It's not great, but you know what? Maybe it is.
No,
maybe we can stop. Maybe we
great.
can stop vacillating. Maybe we can stop all of this ambivalence and say the Cardinals are not good. They're not going to make the playoffs. Sell, and start over.
We can't. Well, they're probably going to sell. I think that's done.
Why would you not sell?
Well, I think they'll have difficulty selling what they want, but somebody's going to go. And my guess is at this point, Ryan Helsley is getting traded.
Well, and I have a
think
question.
Steven Matz is probably getting traded.
To that point. And this is a serious question because sometimes when you're not great, it's hard to sell because nobody wants your stuff. And so is there a playoff team? Let me rephrase that. Is there a player on this team that a current contending team has said, hey, man, if we only had this guy from the Cardinals, we would be good?
Well, it's not that. It is we need a little help in this area. And usually for most teams, it is the bullpen. Not all teams. Some teams need a bat. Some teams need a starter. The Cardinals have relief pitching they could trade. I'm not really sure who else would make sense for them to deal. I know everybody's talking about Nolan Arenado. I don't know how many teams
want him.
would unless it is a situation where they would trade for him, not give up a whole lot in return, with the hopes that maybe by him going to a real contender, that it injects a little bit of energy is not the right word, but it gives him a different perspective, and maybe he goes on a tear for a couple of months. There might be a team out there willing to do that or interested in doing that, but you're not going to get much in return. However, from the Cardinals' perspective, to make a deal for somebody like him, I don't think they need to get a whole lot in return, because the benefit they would get is by giving Nolan Gorman, for example, just everyday playing time. Hey, bud, this is your job for the next 2+ months. Take it, and you'll be there until the end of the year. So there's that benefit.
Yeah.
Right. So I know they're going to make deals now. I would be stunned if we get to the 31st or we get to August 1st and they have not done anything. I would be stunned by it. And it's not going to be an acquisition. I think we've pretty much figured that part out.
Yeah. Well, Ollie Marmol said after the game that last night was the worst game the team had played all season. It was their worst.
Yeah, he's right, I think. Probably. It's one of them.
And we focused a lot on pitching, and I get it. Rightfully so. Our key pitchers, some key starters, aren't doing what they need to do. However, the offense has been a massive issue. And I get it that it is disheartening. It's hard to keep coming back when maybe you feel like you're down 4 to 5 runs in the second and third inning every game. But the offense isn't. The offense has been absolutely stymied by pitchers I've never heard of.
That happens.
Game after game?
Not game after game.
It's not that it doesn't happen, Ron. It's game
I'm not
after
making an excuse
game.
for. Trust me, I'm not making an excuse for them, because this complaint I do hear about a lot of teams. I feel like fan bases are always saying stuff like, "How come we can't beat pitchers that we've never seen before?"
Well,
I
even
feel like
if you
that
take
does
that
happen
part,
a lot,
okay,
but
then
that's
take that part
not
out.
really.
Take that part out. We can't beat pitchers.
However,
period.
right
You
now,
know what I mean?
but I do think that, look, we talked to Ali about it on the Gas House Gang on Tuesday. He's with us every Tuesday at 12, and you should listen to it because he's really, really good. So every Tuesday at 12. And when we talked to Benji the following day, Benji Molina, they both mentioned how difficult it can be for offensive players when you fall behind early, like what happened last night. They're behind 4-0 by the time they get to the third inning. And if you're a hitter, you're thinking, all right, well, I guess it's a 3-run home run, or we're if we don't press, we're not going to win. I do think that takes a toll on them. I don't think that's all of it. I don't think that explains all of the reason they keep getting shut out, because even if you're playing from behind, you still shouldn't be getting shut out as much as the Cardinals have been in the last 3 weeks.
No, it's not going to work. I know we'll talk about it more with
we'll talk to Matt
Pauley. But before we break here, do you have something to say about your sheriff?
Well, yes, my sheriff, Alfred Montgomery, and I am still maintaining strong with an enrollment of 1
of the Save My Sheriff campaign.
The Save My Sheriff group.
Yeah. That's you.
Yes, we meet every Thursday. In fact, we got a meeting today at 3:00. So I'm gonna have to get out of here quick.
Is it at your place?
Yeah, it's actually wherever I am.
Oh.
Yeah, the meeting is wherever I am.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a meeting today because the sheriff, Alfred Montgomery, who has been embattled. Is that the word we want to use?
I think that's a great word.
So the St. Louis sheriff.
You could argue that few people have been as embattled as Sheriff Montgomery.
In St. Louis, probably recently, since Kim Gardner, our circuit attorney.
Which your Save My Circuit Attorney campaign did not work.
Well, it did not work. I did not put my heart into it, though.
It made things real awkward with Gabe Gore.
It sure did.
He'll be like, wait, are you the guy from the Save My Circuit Attorney campaign?
Sidebar, can we get Gabe in here so that I can berate him for actually prosecuting crimes because I keep getting called in for jury duty? Look, no more jury duty, please.
Okay.
Anyway, so Sheriff Alfred Montgomery has appointed a former employee of the city, Sonia Jenkins Gray.
Yeah.
You might remember that Sonia Jenkins Gray was let go by a previous mayor, Tashara Jones, and he has appointed her the HR director.
Okay.
Director of I suppose personnel, right?
Yes, because, and again, as you mentioned, Jenkins Gray was fired in March by former Mayor Tashara Jones because allegedly she used a city vehicle to travel to the state capitol for a personal trip. I think it had to do, I don't know, with relationship stuff.
So, I mean, they seem to be birds of a feather.
But
I guess in
the
some
thing
way.
is, if you think, wow, that name, Sonia Jenkins Gray, sounds familiar, she's also on the Governor Mike Kehoe appointed Board of Police Commissioners that oversees St. Louis Police. And the governor has suggested that she not take the job in the sheriff's office while she's on the board.
It seems that we've had an issue with people in the city in prominent positions holding, I don't want to say multiple jobs,
is it like
doing multiple things.
Is there like six people and we just keep shaking the hat and dumping someone out and go, okay, you go there, you go there?
I'll tell you what it feels like. It feels like the NFL.
Yeah.
It feels like the NFL. A head coach gets fired because he was bad at his job and the team was losing. So some other team says, you know what? We're just going to hire you. You've been a head coach before, so now you're running the Minnesota Vikings.
Let me ask
you know what I mean? That's what it feels like. There's always a
Yeah.
lot of recycling that seems to be going on here.
I know that happens in the NFL. I also know it definitely happens in the NHL.
Oh,
yeah. It's a very recycling. I mean, reduce, reuse, recycle. Probably because they're Canadians. They don't like to waste.
I don't know if it's just that. I think there's a lot of, and this goes for every industry, I would imagine, that familiarity is something that people who make hires, I think they are drawn to that. You'd rather go with somebody you are familiar with than bring in a complete unknown and hope that person does a good job. There's a comfort in somebody you know, even if that person may not be particularly good at it.
Well, that's why like Hancock and Kelly will say, I asked them, what's more important, name recognition or money? And they said they're one and the same. Like name recognition is a huge deal. I do want to note, though, just to clarify. So Governor Kehoe released a statement regarding Jenkins Gray being hired by the sheriff's office. Quote, if Ms. Jenkins Gray does not resign and continues to serve on the board, she will have to address those concerns with the Missouri Senate during her confirmation process. The concerns being the conflict of interest.
Look, is this the biggest deal in the world? Probably not. But it's just another little nugget in the weirdness basket. When it comes to our sheriff?
Your sheriff.
My sheriff.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I kind of want this saga to continue forever. Because really, what's the harm?
What's the harm?
What is the harm to the city if we
taxpayer money?
If we have a weirdo sheriff? What is the harm?
You can't complain about taxpayer money not going toward actual projects when the sheriff is spending it on new badges and golf carts.
Do you think the sheriff, if I asked nicely, and since I have started this group, would pick me up for work and drop me off after work every day?
I think you absolutely would.
All right.
I think you should ask.
Then I think
that would be adorable, and I think you should do it.
And it's taxpayer money well spent, I say. That's Amy Marks Coors. I'm Chris Ranji. Won't you visit with us today? 314-436-7900. We're going to have a great day. Again, Jim Belushi joining the show at 10 o'clock. Major Garrett, 10:30. Matt Pauly at 11, and Julie Tristan will be with us at 11:30 today. That's all on the Chris and Amy Show, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Hey, it's Matt, your Leaf Filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
I'm Jenna Fisher.
And I'm Angela Kinsey.
And together we have the podcast Office Ladies.
Just because we finished rewatching The Office does not mean we're going anywhere.
Every every Wednesday, we'll be sharing even more exclusive stories from the office and our friendship with brand new guests. Plus, you can revisit all the Office Ladies rewatch episodes every Monday with new bonus tidbits before every episode.
So follow and listen to Office Ladies on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
The heat's really been extreme last week or so. I have a wife that's going through change of life, and she woke me up at 3 a.m. and said there's something wrong with the air conditioner. I checked the thermostat, and it's set at 66, and it is saying 66. Like we set it every single night. I said, okay, how do you feel? She goes, okay, well, as long as it's 66. And then within 2 minutes, all the covers are back on her, and she says she is freezing. I said, honey, the air conditioner isn't broke. Your thermostat is broke. So if you're living that way, my advice is this. I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but here's what I do. I keep my laughter inside. It is real what they're feeling. You don't need to call me. You can say you called me, but you don't need to call me. Save your money. This is Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri, Illinois, 314-293-2600. God bless.
Hospital Sisters Health System isn't just in your community. We're part of it. Expert care and genuine support backed by a network that puts your health first. HSHS, connected to our community, committed to your health. Visit hshs.org/caring.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores with you, and our intrepid producer, Matt Pajeski, brought up a question earlier today. And he wanted to know if the you that you are when you're by yourself, maybe like in your car or at home, maybe you say something you wouldn't normally say out, maybe you're venting. Is that the real you, the ugliest, the rawest version of you, or is the real you who you present?
I'm trying to feel better about myself.
That is exactly what I was going to say. He proposed this question because he's having some guilt about the stuff he says in his car and at home when he's by himself.
Okay, I'll kick it off.
Because he probably says something and then goes, man, that was awful. I can't believe that came out of my mouth.
I think like if anybody were in this car with me right now, they'd think a lot differently of me. But I'm saying these things knowing that there's nobody around, knowing that no one will hear this, I hope. So is that the real me? Because I totally act different around people. I feel like that's the real me. I don't know.
I think it depends on the nature of what you're saying in the car. I'm going to give an example. We all go through dark times, right? Life is tough, and maybe you're hurt by people, maybe whatever, maybe you're sad, maybe you're upset. But I've definitely been in my car and been crying and so upset that I've said a bad word.
Well,
I'll say bad words. I'll be like, ugh, and maybe a word will come out because you're by yourself, and I would normally not say it out, but you're just being so honest and upset and angry, and you say a bad word, like let's say like the SH word or the F word, right? You say the F word.
SH word. Amy is 6 years old.
HE double hockey 6.
Yeah. Let's say you break out a mother blanker. Right?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To me, that is understandable. That's vulnerable. You don't do that out because etiquette and politeness and character matter, but you're just venting. But if someone were in their car and they were to like use a slur, that would never occur to me to use a
To
slur.
use one of those.
So
So-
no matter how angry I am. So if someone used a slur in their car, I would say, "Ooh, I think that might be the real you." You might have some of those thoughts.
I would agree with that. I think the most vile thing I say, but sometimes I'll
You
say
say it every day.
kind of, and it is, the MF. Like I will say that a lot in the car. I'll say that a lot at home, if
Yeah.
something happens. But I don't have that in me to use a slur.
And not only do you not have it
But
in you, it would never occur to you
It
because
wouldn't.
it's so vile.
Right. And it does. So I would say this, that every single one of us, without exception, I don't think there's an exception at all, except for maybe somebody who is insane. But I think that without exception, the deepest, darkest
Mhm.
parts of us there's a little bit of really terrible in every one of us. Just a little bit. There's a little bit of all of us that is embarrassing in that way.
Like,
Where
but
you-
what do you mean by dark? Because like when I think of dark, I think of like evil.
Well, I don't mean evil. I
You
just mean really.
like maybe you have a part of your ego is hurt, or maybe you're jealous or
there's
selfish.
a
Something like that.
I think all of us, every single one of us, has a capacity to be really,
Well, that's
really
true.
mean, really
Yeah.
mean.
Because we're
Okay.
broken. Yeah,
When you hear
humans are
somebody say,
broken.
"There's no a mean bone in this person's body," yeah, there is. There is. They just haven't let it out yet. And I think what makes you,
Mhm.
in large part, a good person is being able to suppress that and not let that come out and affect other people. You can have that stuff internally if you want. Go right ahead, but don't put it on others. Like, don't expose it to other people and make them uncomfortable or hurt their feelings.
Yeah, I mean, and I would even say, so I would always tell students that I worked with, your character is who you are when no one's looking. What are you doing when no one's looking? If you think, oh, it's not going to hurt anyone and I can get away with it.
Well,
to me, then that's your character. Then you're kind of a liar and a stealer or a cheater if you're doing things because you can get away with it. So I think who you are when no one's looking matters.
When you say that, I think of good deeds that you do when nobody's looking.
That too.
I think that's even more applicable because we have, with social media, we have way too many people who love to do the performative charity thing. Like, hey, I'm about to go give this homeless guy $100. Film me while I do it. That kind of stuff, that turns me off in the biggest way. But if somebody just sees a person on the street that looks like they need help and gives them $50 or gives them whatever and just goes about their day and doesn't look for the adoration for it, like, look what I did, guys. Look at me. Look at me helping out somebody else.
That's the biblical phrase. White says, "Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing." You're like, right, you're going to help someone out. You're not going to do it performatively.
Yes.
But I think that works both ways. I think who you are is how you act, what decisions you make when no one's looking or you don't think you'll be found out, right? Taking kind acts, not doing wrong acts. And I also do think we all vent in the car. It's normal to be
Of
human
course.
and to vent. But I think when you're in the car and you're venting, you also know that you don't really believe it. Like if you're like, oh, I hate this person, you probably know deep down you don't really hate them.
I hope this person dies in front of me. Yeah, when you say
Well-
that, you don't really hope they die.
Right.
This person is driving way too slow in the left lane. Their name is Andrew Stoles. I hope
Oh,
they
geez.
die.
You say
don't
that
mean
out loud, though.
I do tell Andrew I hope he dies.
That's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
But I do
But that's
think
because I love him.
then that's why there's a difference. It's what are you saying? Because if you were to say something that is considered a slur,
Mhm.
that would scare me.
That
I'd be
means
like,
that there's
yikes,
something.
you've got something deep in there.
Yeah, and I think every one of us has capacity to be ugly, but there's some really ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that if you do that even by yourself and nobody else hears it, and you've suppressed that in public,
Yikes.
there's probably still
Yeah.
something a
Yeah,
little
that's
wrong with
gross.
you. Text messages in when we were talking about the sheriff picking me up. This texter says the only question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to be picked up for work in the new SUV or a golf cart? #save our sheriff.
Oh, this guy gets it. This guy gets it.
I would like to, right now,
Yeah.
in the summertime when it's 1,000,000 degrees out with 100% humidity, I would like to be picked up in the SUV.
I hope he pulls out the golf cart for you.
But in October, November, bring the golf cart. Sheriff Montgomery, I appreciate it. That's Amy Marks Core's I'm Chris Ranji. This is KMOX.
This isn't your typical lunchtime baseball chatter. This is the Gas House Gang.
I'll say this. Here's my perspective.
Tom Ackerman, Chris Ronzi, Mike Claiborne, and Bernie Miklasz bring smart, informed Cards talk. And every Tuesday,
we welcome in the manager of the Cardinals, Oliver Marmol.
You want real Cardinals conversation? You're in the right place. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of baseball.
Calling all soccer fans, the Premier League is coming to STL. St. Louis City SC will host English Premier League giants Aston Villa Football Club Wednesday, July 30th, 7:30 p.m. at Energizer Park. Reserve your seat for this historic match now at stlcitysc.com/tickets. Wednesday, July 30th at 7:30 p.m. That's stlcitysc.com/tickets. St. Louis City versus Aston Villa, presented by Purina.
Currently, it is 86 degrees. It feels like 102. Very hot, very humid, lots of sunshine today, and extreme heat. Temperature, the high is 99. Low tonight, 77. It'll be clear, but warm and humid. Maybe a thunderstorm in spots.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. For over 65 years, Renner Garage Door has delivered top-notch service, sales, and installation. Get your free estimate today. RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back.
RENNER. RENNER.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. Classes start August 13th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHEV.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Community America is stepping up in St. Louis and showing what excellence in banking looks like. Or in other words, they're winning. Opening more branches? Win. Competitive loan rates? Win. Wealth management? Win. Which now makes sense why they asked me, Cardinal shortstop Mason Wynn, to tell you. That's win with two N's, not one. It's time to bank like the Mason winner you are. It's time your financial partner was invested in you. Member owned, open to all. Community America Credit Union, invested in you.
Charlie Brennan with Dr. Colleen Bosler from the Audiology Center. What can people expect when they visit one of your doctors at the Audiology Center?
Expect a friendly greeting and a waiting room stocked full of refreshments. But more importantly, a patient should expect that they're treated on an individual basis. We are not retail, and we pride ourselves on our medical model. Each hearing aid is catered towards each patient's unique needs. Expect a full history intake where we get to know you and your personal needs, and then we'll complete a full battery of tests where we can adequately diagnose your hearing health. We want you to understand those results right away, so directly following your tests, we're going to go over everything extensively. Finally, at that time, we'll develop a customized treatment plan built around you as an individual.
The Audiology Center, 3 locations in the St. Louis area, 636-441-7470, The Audiology Center, STL.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit cantorinjurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Oh, Matt Pajeski fell asleep at the wheel. He was so upset about realizing what a terrible person he is because of the things he says in private. And he forgot to push the button.
It has to be about us. I can see it in his eyes that he's frustrated.
He's
and hurt
fine
by working with the two of us.
All true.
He's a youngster who came into this world of radio thinking, I can't wait to make my mark.
Yeah.
And then just his spirit has been crushed primarily by you.
It's about it's about time the real world smacks you in the face.
I walk into work like Julie Tristan, and I walk out like Chris Ranji. It's not a fun transformation.
Steve,
hold on. Don't make me responsible for all of your slurs.
Okay, whoa. But this place does break you. Chris Myhill
Matt does
told
not
me,
use slurs.
Chris Myhill
anymore.
told me he was the old producer with Charlie Brennan years ago, and he told me when I first came into radio that this place will break you. And
you know what it
turn
is?
you into
Listen,
a cynical,
all right.
cynical, negative, crabby, complainy person.
I think if
by
you're,
golly, he was right.
If you're in just about any industry,
Not true.
no, it is. Most industries,
Fleet
okay?
Feet didn't break me.
Fleet Feet is not a career.
It's a retail. It is a career. You could be a manager at Fleet Feet. I know many
You
people.
were
who
not a
made it.
manager at Fleet Feet.
I didn't want to be.
Okay, but if you got into the
Too much
corporate
responsibility.
if you got into the corporate end of it and you stayed there, within time, you'd be a little salty
You
about
always
it.
got to
I
watch out
promise
for
you.
the corporate end. I can tell you that.
Yes, the business end and the corporate end, they're the same. I'm telling you, you would get to a point where you're like, this industry,
Okay.
come on.
Well, let me just. Speaking of industries that I don't trust, one of them is AI. And I asked you earlier, and I believe your answer was no. But have you ever heard of the B bracelet?
I heard of it.
BTE.
I heard of it an hour and a half ago.
I had never heard of it, and it's terrifying. And it kind of reveals who you are. Like, what do you say? What do you do when you're by yourself? So the B bracelet is kind of like a Fitbit. You wear it on your wrist all the time, kind of low profile. But what the B bracelet does is it records everything that you say or people say to you over the course of the day, and it transcribes everything you say. So the B bracelet utilizes large language models like Anthropic, Google, Meta to literally turn you into a walking wiretap. It can track how many times you cuss. If you're like, man, am I cussing a lot? A reporter from the Wall Street Journal did it, and she's like, I went at the end of maybe it was the end of the week, I don't know how many days, to see how often she cussed. And she's like, I used the F word 45 times. I used this word 13 times. But it also breaks it down and said, it looks like you're using the F word most notably during work frustrations. Yeah. Also, it will summarize using AI all the conversations you have to pick out things that it believes that you've identified as tasks. So at the end of the day, after summarizing all your conversations and listening to you talk to everyone all day long, we'll say, here's a list, here's a to-do list based on the conversations that you've had. It's available as like $50, and then you pay $19 a month for a subscription. And you can tell it what you really want it to focus on. If you want it to focus on, cuss words, or if you want it to focus on to-do lists and so forth. But every single conversation you have is transcribed constantly and sent to the parent company.
And I guess
allegedly it's not the audio.
It's just the transcripts, and they say the it's deleted immediately, but it learns you. And one of the complications of it, from what I understand, is that it confuses oftentimes, and maybe the technology gets better, but it confuses your dialogue with somebody else. it confuses that with whatever you're watching. If you're watching
Yeah,
a video,
I would think so.
if you're watching TV, watching something else, so that can make it less, I guess, accurate.
Yeah.
I don't understand why anybody would really want this. And maybe this is a technology that 10 years from now, we look back on and go, oh, yeah, that totally made sense. I don't know why I didn't get it at the time. I don't get it right now. I don't know how many people would really be interested in this unless you were just so into technology and so into artificial intelligence that you want everything. You want every new thing. So then you'll get here. We have a person who is watching us on YouTube, and this is a very good question and maybe one for Brad Young. And David says the B bracelet would be illegal in Illinois because there's no two-party consent.
That's
so
what
that means like if you're out
Yeah.
in public and you're talking to somebody, the person you're having a conversation with has not consented to being recorded by your device.
That's what Matt and I were talking about because Missouri.
Not in public, but like
Yeah.
privately, because in public it's a different thing.
Missouri is one-party consent. So you can record someone in Missouri,
Right.
but you need two-party consent in Illinois. And that's what I don't know if it is legal or does it not count as recording because it's a transcription and not audio. And that's one of those weird legal loopholes where it has to be specifically outlined.
And that could be it.
I don't know. I mean, if you and I were talking and I wanted to secretly record you, I could do it in Missouri, can't do it in Illinois. But if I'm
Like
in
on
Illinois,
the phone.
yes, or even in person, in a room, if I'm wearing a wiretap. If I were in Illinois and we were having a conversation, could I sit there and take notes?
Yeah, because that's the same as remembering something, isn't it?
But that's my point. Would this
It's a great point,
transcription
yeah.
count as taking notes versus an audio? And maybe here's why I could say that it could be legal. Because the B bracelet cannot prove that it's you talking. It's just a transcription. It's not your voice. It's not recognizable. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Because
So
again, I don't know a
maybe it
whole lot
is
about
like-
this thing yet.
I don't
it's
either.
Pretty new.
But it seems like there could be a legal loophole.
I don't know what the real value is of this other than I guess the intent is that it can help streamline your entire life because of the conversations that you have. So it knows more about you.
Ugh.
It will know what you need because you probably talk out loud about the things that you need. Like, oh, I got to go do this or I have to do that. And without having to physically make a to-do list, it can have one ready for you, I suppose.
A senior reporter phrased it this way. They said, I outsourced my memory to an AI pin and all I got was fan fiction because of the confusions that you mentioned earlier.
Dave is also watching on YouTube and says some people need that bracelet to tell them how many times they use like in a conversation.
People hate that.
I know.
People hate that.
What's her name? She used to call in all the time and tell us to stop saying like.
I know because I would say like. I still do say like.
Yeah.
And it's
Dottie. I think her
difficult
name was
not to.
Dottie. Dottie
She
in
was a real-
Chesterfield.
she
She
was a
does
real
not
drag.
like.
I was really grateful that she listened. Thank you, Dottie. But a bit of
Yeah.
a bit of a drag. bit of
Dottie-
a wet blanket.
She doesn't like, but she loves love.
We don't even know that she loves love.
She may not. She may be somebody in her car who says some really obscene things when she's upset. Don't you think?
Maybe. Well, I am not a fan of invasions of privacy, even though I know it's too late. It's too late. All of our information is out there. We spoke extensively with Nicole Perlroth, a tech reporter for the New York Times. She wrote a book, This Is How They Tell Me the World Ends, talking about 0 day, the grid, all of the information, the dark web. I'm exposed, you're exposed. It's too late. However, maybe it is a semblance, it's a false idea of control, but I kind of feel that I just want to exercise some privacy when I can.
Right. I get that. Yeah.
I don't have an Alexa. I don't want an Alexa. When I go to my parents' house, I unplug it.
Do you really?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it around. And they'll I think they've kept it unplugged for the most part now. Then they'll turn it on, listen to music, and then they unplug it.
I'll tell you what.
But I unplug all those suckers when I show up.
You have people have security cameras or whatever they are inside their homes that sort of record like the living room or wherever they are. One of my friends that I stay with when I go visit Chicago, and it's the great friend, love her to death. but it's not my favorite place to stay because I don't like the bathroom situation.
Oh, yeah.
I told you about
door.
this. Yeah, she's got the only one bathroom in her whole place is in the bedroom, and the door is just frosted glass.
So you can see the shadow.
Yeah,
if you're wiping extensively, she'll be like, geez, this guy's been wiping.
She'll be like, yeah, is this guy okay? Yeah. You have to, I don't like it, right? So anyway, she also, and I noticed it because sometimes I'll stay there when she's out of town or whatever.
Yeah.
And she says, yeah, just take my place. And I looked up and there's a camera in the bedroom. I'm like, is that thing plugged? I don't want this. So I will go and
camera in the bedroom?
yeah, like
Why?
it's one of the because there's a back door there too, to the balcony. So I guess in case somebody breaks in or to record the, I have no idea. So I unplug it. I unplug it because I don't like it. It makes me very uncomfortable.
Well, it makes me uncomfortable as well.
And people are already, Amy, uncomfortable with thinking their phones are recording them. You know how iPhone people more than anybody talk about how I was just having a conversation about bidets, and then I open up Amazon and there's an ad for a bidet sitting right there. I don't get that. I don't see that a lot, but people are always talking about that. So we already have phones listening to us.
And I know we've talked to tech experts who have said, oh, well, no, it's not really listening. No, it is. It is. I don't know what else to tell you. I think Ian Scher, who we talked to regarding
CBS tech expert,
he said it's always listening. Always listening.
That's Amy.
Yeah, it's not good. But thank you for listening.
Thank you, St. Louis and Houston, wherever you're. There was a guy from Houston yesterday who said he turns the station on at 12 o'clock. And I said, hold on a second. Turn the station on at 9 o'clock. He's watching on YouTube from Houston, Texas. I said, turn it on at 9. He goes, oh, what's that? The Chris and Amy show? Yeah, turn it on, you jerk.
Unbelievable. I think it's because that stupid promo. Now the news, it won the fun.
It is that promo. They're screwing us. Did you see this? Next on KMOX.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They're in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Experience the magic of the Fabulous Foxes 2025-2026 Broadway season, which includes the return of St. Louis favorite, The Phantom of the Opera, and the spellbinding spectacular Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. And right now, KMOX has your chance to win a pair of season tickets for the 2025-2026 season. Prize package includes a pair of tickets for all 8 shows in the subscription package. Register now online at KMOX.com/contests for your chance to win.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
This is the story of the one.
As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
We started Neovitin because we wanted to create a multivitamin for ourselves. That's why we focus on quality ingredients and formulas with our multivitamins. Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins are formulated with over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our 4-ingredient physician-formulated proprietary blend for the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins a try for yourself. Find them at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Get ready, St. Louis, for the annual Community Health and Wellness Day on Saturday, September 6th, 2025, from 10:30 a.m. till 2 p.m. at 4700 West Florissant and Shreve Avenue. Free health screenings, free food, line dancing, door prizes, pony rides, petting zoo, double dutch, and more. For a mammogram appointment, call 1-800-600-3606 and press 2. See you at 4700 West Florissant. Visit newsunnymountmbc.org for more information.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Well, Ranj, have you ever ridden in an Uber?
No. What's that?
Well, it's a rideshare service. One time I did when Uber was newish, and I was in Chicago with a friend. And I said we were going somewhere with Uber, and my mom thought Uber was the cousin of my friend.
Oh, my God.
Which is hilarious. And he actually had a last name where, like, Uber kind of fit. Like, it was kind of a great name. All right. The likelihood of your Uber being a female driver potentially could go up. And that's because the rideshare app announced yesterday that U.S. Uber users will soon be able to set a preference for a female driver. So the app will let you choose women drivers when booking your ride, like it does for options like Uber XL or Uber Economy. And you can also pre-book with women. Women drivers can also set a preference for female passengers. It doesn't guarantee a woman driver, but it will prioritize them when you're looking for a driver. So only 20% of Uber drivers are women, according to Uber. So now this will let you set a preference for a female driver. They said the reason why they did this is because reports of sexual harassment and sexual assaults in rideshare vehicles have made these companies assess how they look at this. My only caveat is I feel like setting a preference for a female driver should only be an option for women. Because otherwise you could get creepy guys who are like, I only want women drivers. I feel like the whole point of selecting a female driver, I would want that to be primarily for female passengers.
I see what you're saying. I don't, that would probably have a lot of challenges thrown its way if they did it that way.
Probably would.
I'll tell you what I miss. I miss big city cabs from like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And what I mean is, the cabs that used to exist with the divider between the front seat and the back seat. There was the glass just completely
with the window
separate.
or not a window? No window.
With the window.
Okay.
Right. But now, even the new cabs don't have that.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like that. I want the separation, and I can't imagine the driver doesn't want the separation.
Do most cabs
between
in
the front.
Chicago have the TV too? A lot of cabs have a TV in them.
It's attached to the back seat.
Yeah.
now. Yes.
Like a cab, not an Uber, but a cab.
Right.
Yeah, they have TVs.
Yeah. I've been in a couple of Ubers that, they really do it up, and they put chargers in the back for you, and they put
the water bottle.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Pretty nice.
Amy, did you see the new episode of South Park last night?
I did not.
I did not either, but I have seen some clips of it, and I have seen a lot of discussion about it because apparently they went pretty hard after the president, and it seems like they are trying to coax him into suing them. And I saw...
It doesn't take
I would
much.
say-
To be fair, it
that's true.
doesn't take much. He's very
So-
litigious.
I saw a couple of different scenes. There was a version that almost looked like a real-life AI version of him.
Okay.
Rolling through a desert, like walking through a desert. I can't explain it to you because it's sort of, I can't explain it to you.
Where did you see
need to-
this?
On social media.
Okay.
Because people have posted a lot
Yeah.
of clips of it. So I've seen that. I've seen him in the animated version, and when he talks, he sounds like a baby.
Yeah.
I imagine that there's going to be some fallout from the
So-
president over this episode of South Park.
He is
I
very...
haven't seen the whole thing yet, but I feel like I need to
Yeah, he
because
is...
I want to see how bad it is.
The Wall Street Journal, he's suing the Wall Street Journal for $10 billion because they published that birthday card from Donald
Yeah, he's
Trump
suing
to
Rupert
Jeffrey
Murdoch.
Epstein. Yeah, also, so I watched the Food Network. There's a show on the Food Network called The Kitchen. Love it. It's a great show. One of the chefs, who's an Iron Chef, Jeffrey Zakarian. He's a great chef. He used to actually work at a restaurant in New York and would make Anna Wintour's lunch. She would come into that restaurant a lot. So he's served her, lunches frequently. Well, he was going to be a chef. This was a few years ago for a Trump hotel restaurant. Like they wanted to put a restaurant in New York and they're like, will you be the head chef? And he said, sure. Well, then Trump said some of his more demeaning comments about immigrants and like poisoning the blood, that type of stuff. And Jeffrey Zakarian, who is a son of immigrants, and the immigrant community is important to him, and he's like, I'm not cool with this language. I probably shouldn't be with the Trump hotel. Trump is currently suing him for $10 million. Totally random. Some
Jeez.
Food Network chef that I love is in the middle of a $10 million lawsuit.
Well, this is a litigious society, isn't it? And it includes the president. So, hey, when we come back, we are very excited because we have in studio with us Jim Belushi, the actor, the Blues brother, brother of John Belushi. I mean, you've seen him over the years, and he opened back in several months ago, Belushi Farms here in Missouri, and he is in Missouri. He's going to be here, St. Charles and Pacific today, and the Ozarks tomorrow, and he will join us next in studio. Jim Belushi on KMOX.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
We can get more sleep, we can get more sun, and we can get more exercise, but the one thing we can't get more of is time. It's time to eliminate the one phrase that could be holding you back from reaching your retirement goals. I'll take care of it tomorrow. It's time to pick up the phone and make the call to Gary Goldberg and the team at Financial and Tax Strategies, 314-991-9005, or online at checkwithgary.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial, Inc., an FFC registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Gary Goldberg, NPN number 918615.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
An important message from S&L Coins. S&L Coins pays top dollar for your gold and silver coins, old currency, gold-filled jewelry, scrap gold and silver, silver plating, gold and silver bullion. Get a quote with a call to S&L at 544-3600. S&L Coins, 544-3600. Or visit S&L Coins at 9300 Gravois, just east of McKenzie. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Saturday. Before you sell, call S&L 544-3600.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler for 213 Complex, which is available at supplement superstores. Look, 213 Complex is the most effective and powerful all-natural weight loss supplement ever developed, and here's why. It optimizes thyroid function, and it boosts your metabolism 24 hours a day, while you're sleeping too. So you're burning more stored body fat. Also getting that appetite and craving control that I love. You get all-day focused energy with no jitters, so all you need to do is get out to supplement superstores, tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They'll knock 30% off 213 Complex. Find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
The Dave Glover Show.
If you sit down with me and we talk about who I am, what I am, my values, political, voting record, you're never going to walk away and go, that guy's a bleeding heart progressive. I'm just not stupid. And I just don't take bait. And I just don't do things because you tell me to, or that I'm afraid that if I don't, fall in line or get on the bandwagon, people aren't going to like me. Been there, done that for years.
The Dave Glover Show, now on FM 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 10 o'clock and already 87 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. House Speaker Mike Johnson says he wants full transparency when it comes to the Jeffrey Epstein files and everybody involved to face justice. However, he sent lawmakers home early until September rather than deal with a House vote to release the files. Here's CBS's Major Garrett.
When the House doesn't work, it can't move legislation. And when it can't move legislation, all attention focuses on leadership. And what leadership is doing right now is deferring to the president and the Trump Justice Department. But as the Speaker said, justice must be served, which means there have to be more prosecutions, more transparency. And if that doesn't manifest when Congress comes back in September, this is going to be a significant and irritating political issue for the leadership.
The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit, citing the 14th Amendment, says President Trump's executive order intended to end birthright citizenship is unconstitutional.
The 14th Amendment meant that anyone born in the United States, regardless of the status of their parents, would get birthright citizenship. They say what Trump has done here goes against this history, against 125 years of the executive branch.
CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman, the district court ruled 2-1 against Trump. A popular St. Genevieve winery will be turned into a Catholic summer camp. Chalmette Vineyards and winery owner Hank Johnson says it's just time to retire. He's 82 now. He bought the property 35 years ago and tells the Post-Dispatch it's been a lot of fun. It's grown to include a tasting room, restaurant, wedding venue, fitness center, and more. Johnson is selling Chalmette Vineyards to Life Teen International in a deal set to close August 15th. Lafayette Square residents were dead set against a plan to build a 24/7 self-storage business on an empty lot at Jefferson and Choteau. It had already been denied by the city, but the developer was appealing to the Board of Adjustment yesterday when dozens of residents showed up to testify. Other neighbors sent dozens of emails, letters, and 10 pages of signatures opposing the project. According to St. Louis Magazine, the board upheld the initial denial from the Building Commission, pointing out that the city's own strategic land use plan called for high-density development at that site. Plans for a multifamily housing development fell through a few years ago. Christmas in July. At the Missouri Botanical Garden tonight, you can pretend it's not sweltering and think about the holidays with Jingle in July. Santa Claus will be there in his summer attire along with the Ice Queen. It's really a chance to get tickets for this year's Garden Glow, which opens November 15th. And they'll also be selling tickets for Supper with Santa at the Saks Butterfly House.
The extreme heat warning continues through 7 this evening with AccuWeather real field temperatures near 110. Sunshine and very hot this afternoon, high 99. Partly cloudy, very warm and sticky tonight. There can be a thunderstorm, though, 78. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 87 degrees out there right now at 10:03. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
It's
Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji on 104.1 FM KMOX, and we are very happy to have in studio with us actor, and you just heard him singing just now, Blues Brother. It's Jim Belushi who was with us. Belushi's farm is it has multiple dispensaries, or a partnership with dispensaries here in the St. Louis area and in the Ozarks, and Jim is in town. He'll be in St. Charles and Pacific today, and then he will be in the Ozarks, multiple locations tomorrow. And we are happy to have Jim with us in studio. How's it going? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to be here. Good morning. Good morning.
So you've been to St. Louis before. We don't know when, but we know you've been here.
I was here. I know I was here many years ago when we got diverted leaving Toronto. We had to stay overnight here in St. Louis.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's when people usually end up here, as they got diverted.
I know, but I came up with the best Second City sketch that I've ever done because I was inspired by a chef at a hotel here in St. Louis. And I did a scene called Benny the Denny Chef.
Uh-oh.
I'm your Denny Chef. Let me give you gastronomic bliss. Benny the Denny Chef. Here he comes now. Look at this. Anyway, I do remember St. Louis for being an inspiring
Well, what
place.
was it about this chef that inspired you?
Honestly, I'll tell you. I was with a piano player from the 60s, jazz guy, and he was a pothead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were stuck in this hotel, and he needed some boo, is what he said. Boo is what he called it. And we were looking on the street. I said, I don't know, and I'm coming up to people, do you have boo? And they're like scared of me, right? They're like running from me. I'm going, hey, man, I don't know how to help you. He goes, let's go downstairs, the hotel. I'm sure there's somebody in the staff, right? So we went down to this little banquet room downstairs. There was a piano, and he started playing piano. And it was like this jazz. And it was like the Pied Piper. And all of a sudden, this dude with a chef hat walks by, stops, looks at him, walks up to him, and goes, you want some pot? We laughed so hard. The guy gave my poor guy a joint.
That's so impressive.
And so he
It
wrote
happened
this
here.
song called Benny the Denny Chef. Based on him. I'll never forget Benny.
Well, we're glad we can inspire something.
Yeah.
here.
I mean,
That's good.
it was a
Yeah.
pot story. I mean,
Well,
I'm here in St. Louis,
Yeah.
selling my cannabis at the different dispensaries. So I guess that's appropriate.
It is perfectly appropriate.
And okay, but you started your cannabis company in Oregon?
Yes, when
Yeah.
Oregon went legal, I had a farm, and I didn't really want to raise cattle. I didn't think a Chicago boy could do that. And Danny Aykroyd said, Jimmy, this is it's a legal state. You should grow cannabis. And I went, all right. So I started just growing like medical marijuana.
Yeah.
Like 12 plants, and then 36, 48. And then all of a sudden, we got greenhouses, and I just got so into this beautiful plant. The relationship with this cannabis just grew, and the medicine, the spirituality involved with it, the healing that's involved with it. I was just inspired, and I just been following it. As an actor, my job is to make people feel good. That's been my purpose all these years. And I realized that cannabis makes people feel good. I'm still on purpose.
Yeah.
So the two businesses kind of fold together.
Well, it's impressive that you did so well with the first 12 plants. I don't have a green thumb. I mean, it could have gone south real fast.
The South is where I lived. Let me tell you, there is a learning curve in cannabis. I mean, I did not grow the greatest stuff that first time around. It took me a few years to really understand how the micronutrients, like 64-degree, soil in order to absorb into the roots, and, flushing the plant with irrigation, and the nutrients and what the difference is in the cycles. The looms, 1,100 looms of light. When clouds come, it drops to 750, and we augment it with lights to bring it back up to 11. Oh yeah,
That's a whole lot.
This is farming. This This is not, some guy in the street with a hoodie selling pot in a baggie.
That's Dan Aykroyd.
That's Dan Aykroyd. Jimmy, just go out on the street with a baggie. The way they used to do it.
You say you lived in the South. You talking about Carbondale? Because I know you graduated from there.
Yes, Carbondale. Yes, SIU. Yes.
What is it with people from Chicago going to Carbondale?
Well, it wasn't for it wasn't for dating. Because when I was going there were 5 guys to 1 girl.
Yeah. All right.
So I used to have to hitchhike up to Carbondale. Up to Champaign.
Oh yeah.
And Bloomington.
Well, I went to Illinois State.
Oh, that was you had it was the opposite. It was like 4 girls to 1.
Oh, it was great.
My
great.
wife ended up being my wife. I used to hitchhike up there to see her in Bloomington.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Steak and Shake was one of the first ones. There.
That's right.
I love Steak and Shake there.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I was at the very first Steak and Shake. It's not there anymore. It's something else. But at any rate, yeah, it was always interesting to me that people bypassed Illinois State, bypassed this area, and went straight to Carbondale from Chicago.
Well, I transferred from a junior college.
College of DuPage. COD. I know about that one too.
What a great school. I didn't realize how great it was, but I went there because I didn't want to take the SATs. Because I didn't want to know how stupid I was.
Yeah.
So I went to COD.
Yeah.
I got a ton of experience acting. I mean, I went to a junior college. I had a great program. I was in every play. I did stage management. I did lights. I did speech tournaments. By the time I got to Carbondale, I was a pro. And I just walked right through that program. I was in everything.
Your first experience or maybe foray into acting, and correct me if I'm wrong, was it that you were not prepared for an assignment? So you pretended to be a guy upset about the Vietnam moratorium, and then like the next day you failed the class, but they put you in a Chekhov play?
That's pretty close, yeah.
I love that story. What was that?
It was October 15th was the first Vietnam moratorium. And I was out in the suburbs. And it was Monday morning, and I was walking to class that morning, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I had to deliver a speech, and so I put an armband on and a headband on, and when they called my name, I went up and I was pretending I was a hippie. And hey, man, where were you yesterday, man? You should have been there, man. We got to stand up. We got to stand up for our rights, man. And they're all going, Belushi, you weren't there. But I was doing a character. And I got a D on the speech because the organization sucked.
Yeah.
But he was a theater guy.
The teacher?
The teacher. And he was casting a 1-act play that night.
Oh.
So he asked me to come. And I said, well, I don't really do that. And he goes, well, just tell a story. So I told a story and he gave me the part. And that was it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had a best time. I
really
remember
fun.
that play, the first laugh I got on stage in front of that audience. There was this adrenal flush of my system. And I was like, I like this.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was it.
You had that immediate feedback from a crowd.
Wow. It's hard to explain, but when you're doing comedy, especially, what goes on in your mind and in your body during the duration of a laugh? That's the magic. And I chase magic. I want to keep finding that magic, that feeling. And by the way, there is a lot of magic in cannabis.
Well,
not just like getting high or stoned, but the magic that I run into are people with, 85 bones that were broken in a car accident, and they were addicted to opioids and got off opioids, and the cannabis has made a difference in their life and their family. The stories, the veterans, the VA, the VA gives these guys a bottle of 600 Oxycontin when they come back.
Yeah.
And to hear the stories of their transition, it's amazing. It helps with the wellness of cannabis, helps with sleeplessness, Alzheimer's, PTSD, hopelessness, anxiety.
Oh, I was gonna say one story too. I saw a really cruel disease is Parkinson's because you just want to
Yeah.
relax and you can't stop shaking.
helps.
And it can help relief with Parkinson's.
It helps. It helps.
Yeah.
You know, this is, I can't say that this is a cure of things, but it helps. I mean, there was a woman told me a story about this older man. She went over to visit the house, and he had Alzheimer's, and he had bruises up and down his arm. And I said, "What the hell happened?" They go, "That's from restraining him."
Oh man, yeah.
Right. I said, "Give him a gummy." You know, and they did. They got him a chocolate bar. And I said, "Does it help?" He goes, "He's sitting in the backyard looking at the birds in the trees." I said, "Oh, just to bring that down without opiates."
You're clearly passionate about this project, this thing that you've been doing. What is your favorite thing that you have done in your career, whether it's acting? I mean, this obviously you love, but what's your favorite thing when you look back?
I don't know. You know, the greatest thing about what I do is I'm always in the moment.
Yeah.
And so I always forget as that moment passes.
Well, you're the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, I get asked that question all the time, and the truth is, it's like your hand. You know, you got 5 fingers. You know, it's like, I love all my fingers. You know, I love acting in movies, drama, comedy. I love, I guess performance is the best
in front of an audience.
Yeah, because there's a community sense, and there's a communication in a high level that is quite a beautiful magic.
Yeah,
chasing magic.
Improv and that's what you did.
Well, that was my training
at Second Cities. Yeah, and that is really tough. I took a couple of writing classes there, and I would not have been good at it. I don't think so. But and watching the improv shows, I still don't understand that.
Yeah, and that's kind of a prevailing thought with most people.
Yeah.
And me being on the other side of it, it's like, okay, be frightened of it. Go ahead, stay out.
Yeah.
Because it's not as frightening as you think. I mean, you're improvising all day. You're improvising with me right now. It's, you know,
Well,
and I
but he's-
still don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
yeah. Do you think I did?
Yeah.
I just went on stage. I went on stage and started talking and followed certain rules. There's 5 rules, you know.
Was the white guy rap improvised?
No, that was written. Hello, everybody, and how do you do? My name's Jim B. I'm a rap for you. Tonight's the night to feel all right. Lord knows the best part is instead of that. So chill out, cool in. I'll say it again. Chill out, cool in. Let's begin. I'm
So
a white
good.
guy, and I take no crap when I deliver my white rap. Well, you wonder how a man can stand to be uptight, polite, and white like me. Well, you know, I got my money the old-fashioned way. My granddaddy dropped dead one day. I'm rich. Hot damn. I never had to go to Vietnam, so I asked this girl to be my wife. She's pert and perky, this white guy's wife. She's extremely white. All right, we walk with our buttocks extremely tight.
You gotta write that sucker.
That was in '83. Okay. I went to a movie called Wild Style. Couldn't come up with anything. We're sitting at Rockefeller Center trying to write on a Monday and a Tuesday, you know. And so we said, let's go for a walk. Went out, bought a little butt of weed, smoked a little weed, went to this movie called Wild Style. It was graffiti, house music, and breakdancing. It was a wild movie. And I came out with my buddy, and we were rapping. Right? It was really about a graffiti movie, but the house music and the rap is what came out of it.
Yeah.
And so we wrote that song. So I was like one of the first break dancers, rappers on TV, man. I told Tupac that. I did a movie with Tupac.
No.
I said, I was rapping before you, man. It was me and Grandmaster Flash. That was it, man. Give me this crap. Come on, Tupac.
What do you say about that?
He just laughed. He was a good dude, man. I did that rap for him. He laughed his
That's
ass off.
awesome.
That's great.
I do have to just note this. I know we probably got to go soon, but I also want to say I was 7 when Curly Sue came out. And so when I watched that movie and her suspenders and that hair, and I remember thinking, well, this is a career choice I hadn't thought of. Like, I mean, Curly Sue was so amazing to me.
I know. It's every 10-year-old girl has seen that
Oh,
movie.
it's such a great movie.
Yeah, it's a cute movie. It was
Yeah.
a John Hughes film, and
She was so cool.
Allison Porter. Yeah. You know, she later on went on Broadway and did Chorus Line.
Oh, really?
She won one of those music shows, The Voice.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was one of them.
Yeah.
I can't remember. She
A friend of
won.
ours was on the Voice. He did real well. A local guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Neil
Neil Salsick.
They asked me to do that. What's that? Guess the guy. Masked.
Oh, the Masked Singer?
Yeah.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, they ask me every year.
You're not going to do it?
No, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do
Why?
it. I don't know. I've never
You're
watched the show.
multi-generational. Everybody knows you. You should do it.
Well, you know.
Why don't you think about it?
What are you guys negotiating already for these
We
guys?
get nothing out
You're
of
making
it.
people happy,
I-
and people will see you up there, and eventually.
My
What if
God.
you guilted him into it?
Yeah, that's what you're doing right now.
Do
Oh,
it,
my
Jim.
God.
Do it. By the way, let me tell you that K9 is my favorite dog movie
Oh, yeah.
because the dog doesn't die.
Correct.
When I was a kid, it seemed like there was a string of dog movies.
No, it
like
wasn't. There was
Turner
mine,
Hooch.
and it was Turner and
Turner and
Hooch.
Hooch. Dog dies.
Hanks killed the dog.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Idiots.
Thank you for
You
not
can't kill the dog.
Jim, thank you for not killing the dog.
Well, we did a fake kill. He got shot.
He got shot, but he was okay because he had the vest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I remember.
I remember that scene because it was very difficult for me to do. He was in the hospital, and I was trying to act it, and I didn't know how to do it. I called my acting coach. I said, I don't know what to do. And he goes, what's the matter? I said, I'm getting too dramatic or something. And he goes, well, is he really dead? And I went, no. And he goes, all right, well, then talk to him like you know he's not dead and that you're just messing with him. And I was like, oh,
Yeah, that's great.
that's what made that scene work.
Jim Belushi is in town. He will be in St. Charles at 11 a.m. You gotta get going here soon. At
that's-
High Profile Dispensary, meet and greet with Jim, and then at 2:00 in Pacific, Missouri, at Vert's Dispensary, and then tomorrow several locations in the Ozarks, Osage Beach and Lake Ozark. So
we're latitude and codes,
Mhm.
and then we're then
we got the Belushi
The
bash.
Belushi bash.
Yeah, then there's a bash. I'm gonna jump up at Lazy Gators on Sweet William Road between 7 and 11. I'm gonna do some blues with the
awesome.
blues band. We're gonna have a little celebration. You know, I've got these partners here in Missouri, the C4, that are growing the greatest cannabis. You know, Ty, Craig, Brandon, Ari, they're just doing a great job. And we're doing very well because of their cultivation and their purpose. So I'm happy to be here supporting the brand. And I mean, you should try it.
Yeah, I might try it. I might try as soon as you leave.
Yeah. I mean, we got pre-packaged
I might
stuff.
try it
We
here.
got pre-rolls and fused rolls, and we got hash coming and vape pens coming and gummies coming, and C4 is doing it all. And these are great dispensary partners, so I'm happy to be here.
Well, enjoy your time in Missouri. You're gonna go see Yakov when you're in the Ozarks.
Okay.
Yeah, go find Yakov.
I'll go find Yakov.
He's down there.
All right.
He's hiding, though, he said.
He is hiding. He's
Yakov
hiding
Smirnoff
from
is
us.
Well, I'll bring him some Belushi
You know, he
Farms
came-
product. And
He was here in studio, a couple of months ago, and we did the interview, and then he went and sat on the couch, and he was there for like 4 hours. Took his shoes off. He was just hanging out on the couch.
hey, man, it's a nice couch.
So if you want to stick around, you can. Oh no, you got to
You
be
gotta
in.
go.
You got to be in St.
High
Charles at
profile.
11.
High profile
11 o'clock,
dispensary.
I got to be.
Jim Belushi, it was awesome to meet you. Thank you for coming in.
What a joy. What a joyful morning.
Absolutely. Thank you.
This is
Good
as good
luck to your St. Louis team. Sorry they're not doing as well as they could be.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a Cubs
It
fan. I
was
know. I
joyful.
know.
No, I'm not, that's not
You're
a
enjoy-
backhanded, passive-aggressive thing. I really
You're
do.
enjoying
Everybody
this.
has their team they believe in, and
Yeah.
I know the feeling. You know, I
That's
know the
true.
feeling, man. I mean, for many years as a Cubs fan, it's like, if we hit 500 for the season, I was like, yes. So, you
Hey,
know.
just when you go back, just make sure the Bears are good this year, please.
Oh, baby, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Jim Belushi,
That's where the heart is.
Oh.
thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time.
Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey.
I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman.
From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM. Your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
The reason many of us hate insurance companies is because some of them act like bullies. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been dealing with these creatures my whole career. Whether it's a workers' comp claim, an auto accident, or a nursing home or medical mishap, the playbook is often the same: deny and delay. We became the largest injury firm in America for a reason. We fight the bullies. They know who we are, and I know it makes a difference for our clients. Just go to forthepeople.com and see our results and our verdicts after those bullies gave us their final offer. Hiring the wrong firm can be disastrous. Hiring the right firm could substantially increase your settlement. It's easy to get going. Visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer, or call us on your cell at Pound Law, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX.
Cardinal Cowboy here. After proving the doctors wrong following my accident, I got back to baseball, started kicking field goals, and finally got paid as a pro kicker and ultimately became a leader in the marketing world. That's why I trust Renner Garage Door, exceeding expectations for over 65 years. They service, sell, and install top brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster. Get your free quote today. Check them out at RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER, RENNER.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends Mark and Neil Gelman from the Gelman team of eXp Realty. Selling your home, every situation is unique. Find the best options that are right for you from the real estate team who offer more options. 314-336-1991. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
Jim Belushi, man, that was great.
It was really cool.
It was really cool to have him in here. So, he's in St. Charles in about a half hour. That high-profile dispensary in St. Charles, and then Vert's dispensary in Pacific. That's at 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So a little meet and greet with Jim Belushi. Great stuff. Really good to have him in here.
That's awesome. And then you mentioned this, but Codes Dispensary, Latitude Dispensary in the Ozarks tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Belushi,
Bash
tomorrow night
with Lost Wax.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
I don't know what Lost Wax is.
Like a band?
Should we look that up? I don't know.
No.
That's Amy Marks Coors. I'm Chris Ranji. Now to the fun stuff, the real fun stuff.
Major Garrett.
Yeah, Washington. And I'm going to try this time to go into it with a little more optimism Instead of saying
you're kind of a wet blanket every week.
Major, what is stupid thing is going on in Washington today? I'm not going to do that. Next, Major Garrett, Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hospital Sisters Health System isn't just in your community. We're your neighbors, your friends, your support system. From your first visit, you'll experience expert care backed by the strength of our entire health network. At HSHS, we put your health first, with medical expertise and kindness that makes you feel valued at every step. HSHS, connected to our community, committed to your health. Visit hshs.org/caring to learn more.
Ready to make lake life a reality? With Anywhere Lombardo at Lake of the Ozarks, you can build a home designed just for you, whether it's a cozy retreat or a luxurious lakeside escape. Our custom designs bring your vision to life, set against stunning lake views and peaceful surroundings, the perfect balance of relaxation and adventure. With a trusted builder backed by long-standing vendor relationships, you'll enjoy cost savings and superior quality from start to finish. Start your dream home today with Anywhere Lombardo. Visit lombardohomes.com to learn more.
Calling all soccer fans, the Premier League is coming to STL. St. Louis City SC will host English Premier League giants Aston Villa Football Club Wednesday, July 30th, 7:30 p.m. at Energizer Park. Reserve your seat for this historic match now at stlcitysc.com/tickets. Wednesday, July 30th at 7:30 p.m. That's stlcitysc.com/tickets. St. Louis City versus Aston Villa, presented by Purina.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right, nice, soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit CantorInjuryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Speeding while driving gives you less time to react. Another car could turn out in front of you. A pedestrian could be walking their dog. Follow the speed limit to keep them safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
When we started Neoviten back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves. That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neoviten Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neoviten Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neoviten.com.
It's Major News with Major Garrett, our weekly conversation with CBS's chief Washington correspondent.
Major is also the host of The Takeout, CBS News 24/7, and you should watch it. It is time to talk with our guy, Major Garrett, who joins us now on 104.1 FM KMOX. What's happening, Major?
You can watch it or you can listen to it. It's also a daily podcast, so it's all available, all places.
Wow.
It's kind of like this show.
Yes,
Except,
Indeed.
Yours is probably much better produced, and I don't mean. I mean, like, no, you've got good cameras and you have good lighting and all that stuff.
Major, your opener today was Jim Belushi, who swung by the studio. He's a Cubs fan and gave us a little crap because the Cardinals aren't doing well, and now San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, I'm a poor man's Jim Belushi, that's for sure. I can't compete with him.
That's what I've heard.
Farm or not,
Well,
I simply can't compete.
I know this. He can't compete with Mike Johnson, who you just spoke to.
Few people can, Ron. So you did sit down with the speaker, Mike Johnson.
Yeah, last night.
You asked him about the Epstein files.
Sure, and a lot of other things, just to be clear.
Oh,
It's
and
not
other things,
just
yes.
about that. It was a 12-minute interview that we went 22 minutes on, and all of that will air tonight on The Takeout. So you'll see all the other topics we covered, but Epstein is in the middle of the news cycle right now. And look, it's a relevant issue for the House Speaker because this week, the Rules Committee, which acts at the behest of the Speaker, understand that. The House Rules Committee, which puts all bills on the floor, only does so at the direction of the Speaker. And that Rules Committee shut down this week because it couldn't come to agreement on what to do or not to do with pending Epstein-related matters. And it wasn't getting any signals from the Speaker's office on how to proceed, so it shut down. And when it shut down, the Speaker sent everyone home for the August recess. So that gives it relevancy, not just for what Epstein did or didn't do or prosecute or not prosecute, transparency or whatever. The House didn't function this week because of this, which is why I brought it up with the Speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So what is going on in Washington right now with all of this Epstein stuff? It seems like there's a faction of people, including the president, who just want to move on from it. A lot of other people don't, even people in his party. Is there going to be a real resolution here with all of this? Because it doesn't seem like, at least from that party, everyone's on the same page.
Right. So Republicans in the House and Senate are just deferring to the Trump Justice Department and, by extension, the White House, because they're very tightly aligned about what to do on this. They're all getting ready to leave for the August break, come back and revisit it in September if they have to. They're basically giving the Justice Department and Trump latitude to decide what it can or will do on this matter. But if it's not resolved by September, it's pretty clear from rank and file Republicans in the House and Senate that there will be legislative pressure to do things if the White House actions or the Justice Department actions are insufficient. And this is a classic case of over-promising and under-delivering. If you talk to anyone in the restaurant business, they always say their motto should be under-promise and over-deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Beat expectations on the high side. Give people more than they're expecting. In this matter, and this is why some of the Republican criticism of Democrats and the Biden administration doesn't really wash, the Biden administration didn't promise anything on this, didn't say there was a massive elite scandal that once exposed would show all sorts of depravity within the higher reaches of the intelligence community and the American government. Conservative influencers did, and people in power at the Justice Department, Kash Patel, Don Bongino, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, all said things of that kind and vowed, once in power, to release everything and make it all clear and transparent what this thing was or what it wasn't. Now they are not there. They are under delivering on their over promising. And that gap has created the first persistent cleavage or break or fissure, whatever you want to call it, in the MAGA movement. Ever. I mean, ever. Where they're now at each other's throats about what this case does or doesn't represent, mean or doesn't mean, and whether or not the Trump administration through its Justice Department is living up to the promises it's made before it was in power.
Major, there are a lot of issues like this that suck a lot of oxygen out of the room. But you're in Washington, you're living it every day, not just seeing the headlines. So what do you see as priorities happening right now, issues that are happening right now that maybe are getting bumped aside because everyone's so focused on Epstein or other issues?
Right. So let me give you three of them that just happened in the last week. House representatives passed three pieces of cryptocurrency legislation. One of them, the Genius Act, going to be signed by the president. It's going to create a stable coin linked to the U.S. dollar. That's going to create a different alternate form of digital currency. And the other two pieces of House legislation passed. The Senate's probably going to pass, get to the president's desk. So in the cryptocurrency world, alternative transaction means that are digitally verified are going to become a normalized form of transacted currency in our country, all digital, not through your bank and not through your bank account, through alternate means. That's going to be a revolution in the way we do business in this country. That's a big deal. Lots of trade deals are coming across the finish line, and we're still awaiting the details on this, but the White House keeps saying, in addition to setting new tariff rates for Japan, the Japanese government has agreed to give the United States $550 billion in investment in companies at the sole discretion of President Trump, and initiatives in which the Japanese will lay down the $550 billion and only take 10% of future profits. Now, I don't know how that's even possible. It would be utterly inconsistent with anything the Japanese have ever done in this country. And if true, and if that's exactly what happens, then I will give President Trump full credit for being a master of the art of the deal, because that is highly, highly unusual. But these trade deals are coming through. That's a big deal. Lastly, I would say the president gave a very big speech on artificial intelligence. And this administration is basically trying to clear every bureaucratic and permitting obstacle to massive energy development to fuel artificial intelligence in this country, to try to either keep pace or beat the Japanese. These will be transformational energy sources, technologies, and if they are accelerated the way the White House says they are, all three of those things, crypto, AI, and trade, are massive issues just this week that will probably have will definitely have much more influence on the average American than anything dealing with Jeffrey Epstein. So to your point, lots of things going on here. It frustrates the White House that they're not being talked about more, but they're the ones making the decisions about what is or isn't going to happen on Epstein, and they're the ones having trouble living up to their previously made promises.
Also, with economic implications is the interest rates. And the president has made it very clear he's not happy with Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, and is visiting the Federal Reserve today, which apparently is not typical for a sitting president to do that. So, what is this about?
No, the White House is just, treating it like, well, they're just taking the public tour. Sorry, you're the president of the United States. You just don't take the public tour of the Federal Reserve. No, look, and I talked to Speaker Johnson about this and many other things. I said, are you comfortable with his jawboning and basically denunciations of the chairman of the Federal Reserve? He said, well, look, it's not a good idea. And the Federal Reserve chairman's appointment lasts until May of next year. It's going to be a rough go for him. I do think there are some questions about whether he's been slow or fast enough on interest rates. I said, but you don't want the president to fire him. He said, well, I'm not even sure he has the legal authority. That's not exactly where the White House position is. The White House position is the president does. The Supreme Court's been pretty clear that he doesn't. But the president wants to keep pushing this button. The problem for the president is, and lots of people around him have made this clear, the more he politicizes the Fed, meaning the more he uses the political bully pulpit to criticize it, to maintain its own sense of independence, forces the Federal Reserve not to do what he's telling them and barking at them to do. Because anything the Federal Reserve would do right now on interest rates would be interpreted by the markets as overly influenced by the White House. And once you cross that Rubicon, it's very hard to cross back. The idea that a president can essentially, through rhetorical flourish or a social media post, change Federal Reserve policy. Nobody wants that. So the president's aggravation, publicly expressed, makes it less likely, not more likely, that he will get what he wants.
Major, also, we've been following the back and forth, I guess, between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, and the war continues between Russia and Ukraine. Where do we stand 2 days, I guess, 3 days after Trump has changed his mind again?
Yeah, on the takeout in the last week, we've had two very important voices on this. John Sullivan, who was President Trump and President Biden's ambassador to Russia, since recalled, because we don't have formal ambassador presence there anymore since the war, and William Taylor, former ambassador of the United States to Ukraine. And both said to me the same thing. It is clear now that Trump is coming to a different set of conclusions about Putin and more willing to imagine and actually setting in motion things that were completely off the table 6 months ago, meaning sanctions and accelerating, not just tolerating, but accelerating weapon shipments to Ukraine. Is the transaction different? Yes, the Europeans are buying it. We're sending it through NATO. The Ukrainians don't care. All they care about is the flow of armaments. And for a while, they appear to either be certain to be suspended or temporarily suspended, and certainly in limbo. That's no longer the case. That is a tectonic shift for this Trump White House, and a sign that these two former ambassadors agree on that Trump is coming to a different set of conclusions. Maybe slower than he ought to have. History will decide that. But that he has turned on this is evident, and it is having a material effect on the Russian calculations and the Ukrainian calculations. Will it continue the war? Of course, because the longer the Ukrainians are able to defend themselves and attack Russians when they can with armaments provided by Europe and the United States, the more the war will continue. But also, it frustrates the goals of Russia and Putin, and may over time, maybe sooner rather than later, especially if new sanctions are added, change their calculations and bring this war to a more swift conclusion.
What do we know about the leaked signal chats that had Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, on it? And we were told at the time, back in March, when this whole story blew up, that there was nothing classified on it, but apparently there was?
Well, them saying it was not classified didn't mean it wasn't classified. I mean, it was at minimum, by anyone's characterization, highly sensitive, and probably in the moment was, by definition, classified. You can't talk about the things on which they were discussing signal, about the military packages being sent, or the timing, or the locations or potential targets of the Houthi rebels in Yemen, and not understand that that is not only highly sensitive, but in the moment classified, unless in that moment, without his knowledge, President Trump declassified it. Well, that didn't happen. Nobody asserted that it did. They tried to minimize the overall import of that, but it was obviously classified. And trust me, had the same set of actors, or meaning the same set of actions, rather, carried out by different actors in the Biden administration had gone on, the denunciations from Republicans would have been pronounced, repetitive, and screeching. And they would have been justified in that, because there is no way to justify really using an unsecured platform like that to transact that kind of business when, as all those high-ranking officials have, other alternatives are available that are much more secure and not prone to either accidentally including a journalist, as they did, Jeffrey Goldberg of The Atlantic, or operating on a platform on which we know our adversaries hover, looking for signs and clues about American intentions.
Major Garrett, we love talking to you. We appreciate you as always. And if you noticed, I didn't say anything about Washington being weird to start this segment.
That was nice. That was nice. I'm going to slip this in, though. Go Padres.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's hurtful.
Major Garrett.
That is not
really trying to,
super nice.
This guy's always trying to stir it up, isn't he?
He is. He's an agitator.
I was quiet about it. I was quiet. Low key.
Oh,
very low key.
Respectful. Yeah, you pulled a pin and you dropped it in the room and you walked out. That's not quiet. We know what you did.
That's me.
Major Garrett, you're the best. Thank you. Talk to you next week.
Okay.
Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, Major Garrett. Watch The Takeout, his interview with Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. You can see that later on today. CBS News 24/7 or wherever you get your podcast. It is Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji on KMOX.
Hi, St. Louis. This is EJ Turner, one of the 6 certified arborists with Timberline Professional Tree Care. Spring and summer in the St. Louis area can mean severe weather and storm cleanup for homeowners. Fallen branches or entire trees are not only unsightly, but they can be extremely dangerous. Each year, hundreds, if not thousands of homeowners are injured or even killed while trying to trim, remove, or clean up trees that have fallen. These injuries are often the result of falls from ladders or roofs, cuts from the chainsaws, or the tree itself striking the homeowner. We've all seen the YouTube videos. Don't let yourself or loved one become the next victim. At Timberline, we all have the knowledge and equipment to safely and efficiently remove that tree or tree branch from your home, structure, or yard. Go ahead and save our 24-hour number to your phone. It's 636-479-7475. Again, 636-479-7475, or visit our website at stltreecare.com.
Attention, small business owners. Do you need funding for your business? At lendseek.com, we provide revenue-based working capital programs from $20,000 to $1 million. So whether it's funding for inventory, equipment, expansion, payroll, or other needs, seek no more. All it takes is just one simple application to access over 100 funding products that are powered through our breakthrough AI-enabled lending platform to get you the best options in today's marketplace. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of at least $50,000, you could receive the business funding you need when it matters most, regardless of your personal credit score. Funds in your account in just 24 hours with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. There's no obligation and zero out-of-pocket costs. So apply for the business funding you need today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
It doesn't take a lot to make a big difference.
That's why we've teamed up with Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling to bring you 100 acts of kindness.
For the next 6 months, the Chris and Amy Show is challenging you to spread kindness in simple, meaningful ways. No big budget needed.
Write a thank you note, help a neighbor, surprise someone with a smile. It all counts.
Let's prove that kindness is contagious. Share your acts with us by using hashtag 100KindActs.
Because a little kindness goes a long way.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for Universal Windows Direct. Right now, you can choose from payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no payments and no interest, plus a free in-home window and energy assessment from the leaders in the window business. Been with these guys now for a while, and they have treated me very well and my listeners very well. Many of you from the DGS have reached out to get a quote. As you know, they're always in the middle because they are just a solid company. Call 314-334-2522. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
All right, a couple of quick updates on Tanya Haddix, a.k.a. the chimp crazy lady, the woman who had all of these chimpanzees and then lied about Tonka, the famous chimpanzee
chimp
that was in George of the Jungle. Yes, and said he was dead, but then he was locked in horrific conditions in a cage in her basement, and PETA has filed a lawsuit against her. And last year, PETA lawyers filed to hold her in contempt for more admissions that she made during the Chimp Crazy documentary from HBO. Well, they found another chimp in her basement, and it was a female chimp in the same cage that Tonka had been held in after she lied and said that Tonka had died. Apparently, agents went to her house and her husband answered the door and asked where she was. And he said she's feeding the monkeys. But then when she led them to a cage, there was no chimpanzee in the cage. At any rate, eventually the husband let the officials inside and they went into the basement of her home. There was a cage in the basement. It was swarming with flies. It contained, quote, fresh dung, a blanket, an empty Gatorade bottle, and a half-eaten sucker. Federal agents launched an investigation, and on July 9th, they officially searched the home, and there they found another female chimp, the one that was in Tonka's old cage.
Man.
She has mental issues.
She's clearly
very
a
ill.
mental illness here.
She doesn't look well. You're used to seeing her kind of an over-the-top personality, kind of a caricature almost, because she has this giant blonde curly wig. But in court, she was not wearing the wig. She doesn't seem to have much hair left.
Yeah.
She's pretty haggard looking, and it's actually very sad.
yeah,
I mean,
so
she's obviously mentally ill.
We have, and we can, make fun of this because it does seem it's silly. Anytime you're talking about chimps and something happening with them, you can make a joke of it. The reality is there's clearly something not right with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I do, even though she's technically abusing animals, and has, it just she clearly needs help.
So she was arrested at a hospital this week after having a medical episode. She was still in jail yesterday, is set to appear before a judge today to determine whether she will remain locked up. Because again, the story's been stretching on for several years now. And that July 9th investigation, that was just a couple of weeks ago. That was this month. And that they just found another chimp. So yes, she is sentenced to be, is set to be sentenced on August 7th. Another quick note. Remember how I thought maybe her car was near me?
It was not her car.
So I have since been informed, I think it's supposed to be Champion, not Chimpin.
Oh my God.
I thought it was like Chimpin.
Do you know
because I had this story on my mind, so I thought it was Chimpin, and I thought Chimpin, the only person that would have Chimpin as their license plate, their vanity plate would be the Chimp Crazy lady, but apparently it is Champion.
Oh, is this real, Frank Ladd? Oh, Frank Ladd has informed us, and this is according to TMZ Sports. Hulk Hogan has died.
Oh.
At the age of 71, according to TMZ.
Wow. Didn't we just talk to Hulk
him
Hogan?
about a year ago, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yep.
No, maybe a little longer, year
Those
and a
are
half.
some larger-than-life personalities in Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan in the past couple days.
Oh, yeah, this is real. Oh, wow. Okay, so Hulk Hogan has passed away, only 71 years old. We just found that out just now. Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji. Hour 3 of the show is coming up next on KMOX.
Tom Ackerman for Busey Bank and Building Community. We are proud to recognize Doorways as a building community partner. Doorways helps those who are invisible and ignored by society, people navigating poverty, homelessness, and serious illnesses like HIV. While HIV has become treatable, the number of cases continues to rise in the disenfranchised community. Building community means nobody should be invisible. Learn more about Doorways at doorwayshousing.org.
This is Pat Buring, Executive Vice President of Busey Bank. I'm so proud to recognize Doorways, the only agency in the region dedicated to providing housing to individuals living with HIV and their family members. Doorways sees to it that clients receive on-site services to manage their lives, opening doorways to independence and opportunity. That's what building community is all about. Join Busey. Get involved as we continue building the communities we call home.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house, on the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. Winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
It is 11 o'clock and it's 90 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. And of course, the heat is the big story, but also multiple media sources reporting the death of wrestling legend Hulk Hogan. Medics dispatched to the 71-year-old's Florida home for a cardiac arrest case. Hulk Hogan was inducted twice into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2005 and 2020. In recent years, he was an avid Trump supporter, attending rallies and even speaking at the Republican convention. The central and eastern United States broiling under a massive heat wave, and in the central part of the country, corn sweat is making things worse. Here's CBS's Lana Zach in Iowa City.
1 acre of corn actually will produce 4,000 gallons of moisture into the air every single day. And when you multiply that by the 13 million acres of corn that we have here in the great state of Iowa, we're talking about a significant effect on the weather, about 52 billion gallons of moisture in the air.
The Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals says President Trump's executive order intended to end birthright citizenship is unconstitutional because the 14th Amendment grants citizenship to children born on U.S. territory without regard to who their parents are. CBS News legal reporter Christina Kaufman has reaction from the White House.
What the White House says is that the Ninth Circuit misinterpreted the text and purpose of the 14th Amendment.
The 2-1 appeals court ruling upholds a lower court order blocking nationwide enforcement of Trump's birthright executive order. It's not official until November, but Great Rivers Greenway is celebrating its 25th anniversary for the rest of the year. The public agency behind the St. Louis region's extensive and growing Greenway network began with the passage of Prop C November 7th, 2000. Since then, they've completed more than 140 miles of trails and paved pathways and worked with 250 partner organizations. A victory for a North City Neighborhood Association fighting to get a deteriorating property out of the hands of Paul McKee's Northside Regeneration. The former ABC Auto Sales building on Page Avenue is owned once again by the city's land bank after 15 years of neglect. The Covenant Blue Grand Center Neighborhood Association called it a major and unprecedented victory for community-led preservation and neighborhood empowerment. They were helped by Legal Services of Eastern Missouri.
Mostly sunny, very hot and humid this afternoon with a high of 99. Some clouds, uncomfortably warm and sticky tonight with a thunderstorm in some areas, the low just 78. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now at 11:03, we've got Sunny skies. It's 90 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. For over 65 years, Renner Garage Door has delivered top-notch service, sales, and installation. Get your free estimate today. RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back.
RENNER. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
And the 1-2 pitch coming up to the Cardinal right fielder Walker, and he swings and misses. Strike three, and this ball game comes to an end. Kinley finishes up a Colorado Rockies victory here in Denver as the Rockies win the series by a score of 6-0 here today.
Yo, Paulie! Paulie's great, ain't he? Yo, Paulie! What'd you do for Paulie? Anything? Me, Paulie! I was responsible!
Paulie, we're here because of you.
Well, look, you really couldn't have a much worse post-All-Star break than the Cardinals have had. It just has not gone particularly well. And they lose a series to the Colorado Rockies, who are going to be, maybe, unless they go on a tear, unless they keep playing the Cardinals.
They just started one.
Yeah, they just started a tear. They were on pace to be even worse than last year's White Sox, which was the worst baseball team in history. So at any rate, Cardinals go to Colorado. They drop 2 of 3. Now they got the Padres coming up. It is Matt Pauley, the host of Sports Open Line, Redbird Rush Hour at 5 o'clock every weekday when Cardinals baseball does not interfere. Interfere is not the right word. It's more like preempt. Preempt is a better word. So Redbird Rush Hour at 5 o'clock and pre and post game coverage. It's Matt Pauley with us. What the hell, Matt?
Yeah, that was just so Pajeski comes back playing that song.
I know.
And then both you and Amy dropped the whelp basically.
Yeah, what do you want us to do?
Like that it was radio gold there for a moment.
Well, hey, listen, I just want to say thank you, Matt, that I tried. Picture me last night thinking, you know what? I'm going to watch the Cardinals replay today.
No.
And turned it on the old TV there, made myself an electrolyte drink, and turned it off like 5 minutes later because it was the worst.
You need electrolytes to watch the Cardinals.
Oh my
lately.
gosh.
It's
not. Here's what I had this very insightful insight, Matt, yesterday.
Insightful insight.
And that was that winning is fun. Winning is really, really fun. And the correlative to that is that losing is not as much fun.
Correlative. Wow. That's a big word. Don't worry about corollary. Just go correlative.
Okay.
Is that a word? Is that?
Yeah,
is
it's
that...
it's at the adjectival form.
Correlative.
Amy likes to illustrate to you how much words she knows.
No, it's not about how much words I know.
She loves to know all about look at the word I know. You idiots don't know.
Well, here's the thing. If my insightful insight is that it's fun to win, I at least need to have an extensive vocabulary to make it sound like I'm saying something different than I said yesterday.
So it's like a makeup call.
That's right.
It's like a makeup call.
Yeah.
Cardinals need a lot of makeup calls apparently because something is. It's just. I know. This season was not supposed to be competitive, but then it started off to be competitive,
That's the problem. We had hope. We really did.
Expected it to continue to be competitive. And look, I mean, they're only 3.5 out of a wild card, but the arrow is not pointing up. So
I may have
go ahead.
I may have said this the other day on when I did I don't know. I've said it a few times lately. The Shawshank Redemption line of hope is a dangerous thing. Like that's what's happening here. And it's really frustrating because
the Cardinals are getting busy dying. That's what's going on right now.
They're all right. Get busy living, get busy dying. We can do all kinds of Shawshank stuff if we need to. And there's a lot of people who are kind of taking a lap here on, well, you knew this was going to happen and they weren't actually as good as they showed at the beginning of the season. Like, I don't know if I buy that. I still kind of feel like what they did earlier was real, but over 162 games, there's a lot of roadways that you can turn down or a lot of alleys you can go down and they get really bad. And it feels like the Cardinals have done just that here recently where it's gone bad and they're just not playing good base. When Oliver Marmol says at the end of the game yesterday, that's the worst game they've played all season long. that says a lot. Like we don't need to say much when Ali is willing to say that.
I get the impression, I should, it's not the impression, he is very clearly, he's frustrated now, and he's been frustrated, and he knew what the gig was going into the year, the trying to get some of these younger players as much time as possible so that you can make an evaluation on them, and you can figure out what you need moving forward. He knew that, but then they start to win, right? And he's also trying to balance that, like making the team good enough to win. Do you feel like the level of frustration from him, as far as you can tell, is getting greater, or has it been this way for a while? I mean, how would you assess that?
I think it's getting low. I mean, the more you lose, the more you get frustrated. That's going to be any manager. Now, there's other things going on right now with this team for sure that is leading to that as well. But yeah, I think the frustration level is going up for him. And it should be. If he wasn't getting more and more frustrated by A, the losing, and B, before Fedde gets DFA'd, he's sitting there with a guy, Michael McGreevy, who he knows gives the team a better chance to win every fifth day, but he's not getting that guy on the roster. That's going to be frustrating as well. So yeah, there is frustration. There should be frustration. And I don't know. He's in a really tough spot too, because if the organization is talking so much about shifting to 2026 and he's managing for his job, how does he go about that? And then you've got a year that in many ways, I don't know about you, Ranj, but to me, the idea of this being a year where you find out about a bunch of guys, like who have they really found? Like, I think they found out something about Alec Burleson.
Yeah,
because but in
don't
what
you think
have they
already
learned?
What do we learn new about him? Isn't he kind of what we thought he was?
No, because I think what we saw at the end of the season last year from Burleson, and even at the beginning of this year, made it seem like that this guy might not be somebody who could just put it all together at the big league level. But outside of Burleson and maybe Matthew Liberatore to a certain extent, I feel like most everybody else, either you haven't learned anything or just kind of a confirmation of what you already thought. Like we had seen Victor Scott II struggle from an offensive standpoint. We've seen Nolan Gorman and Lars Nootbaar not be able to stay on the field. Like there's just not this. Nobody knows anything about Jordan Walker still. Like there's so many times this year we've heard, we got to learn something about Jordan Walker. Well, guess what? You're not going to know a darn thing about Walker because he's still super young and there's still a lot of inconsistencies, and we'll see what happens next year. So just this idea that they've actually tried to learn stuff this year, I would push back that they've actually learned that much.
Did they learn? Is it potentially fair to say that they learned that Nolan Gorman is this? Like, this is it? Like, you're not thinking you're going to expect anything bigger out of Nolan Gorman and say, okay, well, maybe we move on because this is Nolan Gorman, or at least that's who he's going to be here.
Who is that though? Because he's been two different guys this year. His numbers over the last month or so before he got injured were absolutely fantastic. You could make the argument that he was the best hitter for the Cardinals for the month before his injury. He had an almost 900 OPS in the month of June, whereas he had a 583 OPS going into the month of June. So I don't know even who that is.
If Bernie Miklasz has said, multiple times, sell, sell, sell. Those are the three lessons we've learned recently for the Cardinals. Is there anyone that's untouchable for you right now with this roster?
With this roster, no.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think if anybody's untouchable, it's like JJ Weatherholt. He's not even here.
Right. He's not here.
Yeah. No. When Amy said this roster, I'm evaluating only the major league roster.
Because Weatherholt's like the one. I don't want to say the one bright light, but I mean I was listening to some of the. I guess it was yesterday, the minor league broadcast, where the minor leaguers were like, "Well, this is the one hope for the Cardinals this year is Weatherholt." That's what they said on their broadcast.
Because he just got another home run. It's what, 4 in 8 games?
He had 2 home runs yesterday. His second one went like 445 feet. So that would have been the longest home run. Right now, Wilson Contreras hit one 443. So yeah, Weatherholt's home run yesterday would be the longest home run hit by a Cardinal this year. Now, if JJ Weatherholt doesn't exist, Mason Wynn to me maybe is untouchable, but because Weatherholt can play shortstop, I'm not jumping for the team to trade Mason Wynn. Don't take it that way. But if you just get blown away by an offer, no, I don't think anybody's off the table right now.
That's a really bad place to be. It's worse than I thought it was going to feel, because you want to have at least one or two players that you say, absolutely not. You can't get rid of this guy, and the Cardinals don't have that right now. So should we take that as the future is not bright, or the immediate future? And I mean like 26 and 27, or is this something, in your opinion, that can be turned around relatively quickly, provided there's no work stoppage after next year? I was really putting you on the spot.
I don't know. The talent is not there right now, and I don't really know how long it's going to take for the talent to get there. Now, there is a ton of money coming off the books, so if they want to jump into the deep end a little bit more on some free agent spending, they can do that. But the St. Louis Cardinals are always going to have to be built through cost-controlled players, and then you just pick and choose your spots of free agency. Now, I say all that to say this. The Cardinals were in contention for, over half the season. So it feels like they shouldn't be that far away. And still to this right, it is not impossible for them to be a playoff team this year. Right now, it looks very, 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 very unlikely. But in terms of where they're at in the wild card race, they're not out of this thing. If they decide that they want to pull a Detroit where they sell off at the deadline and then all of a sudden start playing great baseball, they can still do that. And there's still a path to the postseason. So it's a really weird thing right now, because on paper, the team just doesn't look great. I talk about it all the time. Right now, especially with Gorman on the injury list and Nootbaar on the injury list, but more so Gorman because Nootbaar hasn't really hit this year. You feel comfortable with your top four hitters in your lineup: Donovan, Herrera, Burleson, Contreras. But then after that, the 5 on, there's just not enough offensive production. They're not scoring enough runs, and it doesn't feel like they have a roster right now that can fix that problem. And then you add in the fact that their starting pitching has been some of the worst starting pitching in all of Major League Baseball this season. It's just, we are at a low point right now for 2025 for St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
Oh, this is great. Well, there is Cardinals baseball later on tonight. It is a 5:50 pregame show with Matt Pauley. Prior to that, though, Redbird Rush Hour at 5. So Cardinals talk at 5, 5:50 pregame, 6:45 first pitch, Cardinals and Padres at Busch Stadium tonight.
Big series. Look,
it is still a big series, yes.
Yeah, huge.
They can make up a lot of ground here if they don't stink.
Go take 3 out of 4 from San Diego, and things look really, really different. It's just hard to imagine that happening when the Colorado Rockies just got a shutout victory for the first time in 220 games.
Oh, man.
Against who?
Oh, what? Well, funny you should ask.
Yeah, that's rough.
All right, Matt Pauley, we will be listening. The Cardinals, who right now are 3.5 games behind the Padres in the wild card race. Giants and Reds are in between them. Reds are in front of the Cardinals in the standings, just so you know. Matt, thank you.
You bet.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Also, don't forget, Gas House Gang coming up at 12 o'clock. Bernie Miklasz and me. We will have Will Leach on the show. We will have Danny Cox, former Cardinals pitcher, on the show. And then Padres manager and former Cardinals manager Mike Schilt will join the show today.
Kidding.
Gas House Gang from 12 until 1 on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Well, mosquito bites are the absolute worst because I've been dealing with a couple of them. I visited a friend. We were standing outside in the yard, and they obviously had not called Rottler, because if they had, I wouldn't have gotten those mosquito bites. Here's the thing. Rottler will protect your home from mosquitoes and allow you to enjoy time outdoors. They locate and treat mosquito breeding sites. with a product that is specifically formulated to control mosquito larvae for weeks at a time. That's going to significantly reduce the mosquito population around your home, which is a pretty big deal because with all of this rain, all of this standing water that we've had, it's been a bad year for mosquitoes. Also, fleas and ticks. If you've got kiddos, if you've got pets running around in the yard, you want to protect them from these bugs that are the worst and can spread disease, just like mosquitoes. And they have a very effective Signature Plus program that will protect your yard against fleas and ticks too. So Rottler.com, you can schedule your free inspection inside of your house, outside of the house. They'll take care of you. Rottler.com.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career, or the right relationship.
but whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you with the very best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
1 in 4 people surveyed by Bankrate.com say they're literally losing sleep because of worries that they may have not saved enough to retire. If you're ready to get serious about planning for your financial future, you could start by listening to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All of the All Financial Group.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different. If you want assistance, we can also help you at that point.
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6. Right here on KMOX.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Calling all soccer fans. The Premier League is coming to STL. St. Louis City SC will host English Premier League giants Aston Villa Football Club. Wednesday, July 30th, 7:30 p.m. at Energizer Park. Reserve your seat for this historic match now at stlcitysc.com/tickets. Wednesday, July 30th at 7:30 p.m. That's stlcitysc.com/tickets. St. Louis City versus Aston Villa, presented by Purina.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
Yes, how could that be the worst game they played all year when in Pittsburgh they lost 3 in a row, 3 shutouts to them? I would think that is the worst series, worst games they played all year. I think somebody, Marble, Mazzelak, need to look in the mirror and say, what we've done with this team is not enough. Thank you.
Joe appreciates the voice message on the Odyssey app, and we are going to run that by Ollie Marble.
Can I note, though, that Joe had a pretty good radio voice. He kind of sounded like he was reporting. He had that sing-song, like just a hint of a sing-song.
And also, he raises a good point. I know Ollie said yesterday that was the worst loss of the year, but that Pirates series pretty bad too. And I guess it's splitting hairs at this point, but the Cardinals have just played in the last month some pretty rotten baseball, and that sucks.
Food poisoning twice in the past month. Which one was the worst?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. They're both food poisoning.
Also, feel free at any time to leave us a voice message on the Odyssey app like Joe did.
Marble.
We're going to...
Other than that, though, it was a great voice message. He had a great voice.
On Tuesday at 12 o'clock, we will talk to Ollie Marble.
You're such a boob.
12
you
o'clock.
are such a boob. Joe took the time.
From 12 to 12:30, we'll talk to Ollie Marble.
Marble.
Yes.
Well,
Ollie Marlboro.
Was it Marlboro? But you know what? Ollie's probably going back into the tunnel during games having a smoke because he can't stand it anymore. He's like, I can't watch this anymore. He's gonna go have a Marlboro Red.
Marble.
well, now you know what? Now I'm gonna call him Ollie Marble. Now I can't say it. Like the same way you called him Newt Larsbar.
I love calling him Newt Larsbar.
It sounds right now.
So, well,
you have
sometimes
messed me up
Well, I've messed myself up. Sometimes I almost say it when we're having a real conversation about him.
about Newt Larsbar. Yeah, I'll tell you what will mess you up too.
What?
Just
Hulk Hogan died?
Well, yes, but I want to get this out because I just want to ruin everyone else's day. Having tutored kids and even little kids who say words wrong. If you have little kids that say the word ambulance and binoculars enough, you're not going to know how to say it right.
Is it the same as nuclear?
Yes, nuclear. I got up my binoculars and I saw the ambulance. You're not going to be able to say ambulance now.
Come on, kid, get it together. There's no excuse for you to be pronouncing it like that.
I will say this. It's like when Rachel Zimmerman on the Glover Show called him the Hamburgular.
I don't remember this.
They call him the Hamburgular, and now it sounds right.
All right, see now that's gonna be. I had a really bad. I can't even repeat it. I can't repeat it because I had a really bad one 15, 20 years ago.
Like it was
talking about sports.
Inappropriate?
Yeah, I was trying to say blown saves, and I didn't say the right thing. It was bad. Just play around with those two words and you can figure out what I said on accident. It was really because I heard Charlie Steiner say it, and we used to play it over and over again, and it got in my head, and then I said it one
in
time.
your head, and that's what's so scary. But I do think Hamburgular sounds right now.
So we found out right before the news at the top of the hour at 12 o'clock that Hulk Hogan passed away. And that was a big part of we interviewed him about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
It was prior to the his appearance at the Republican National Convention ahead of the election last year. But we talked to him, and he was part of my childhood because I got into wrestling, you know, and he gave us some good advice. I think
you guys be cool and eat fruit. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Did he say be cool and eat fruit? That's what he said.
Be cool and eat fruit.
He said, "Be cool and eat fruit."
He's not wrong.
No, he's.
When it's hard to eat when it's this hot.
Yeah.
A lot of times your appetite goes down. You know what I had last night? Some grapes. It was refreshing. I'm not a big fruit person, but when it's this hot, I can use some strawberries and grapes.
I have gone on a red grape only tear for many years.
Yeah, but you're a big fruit guy.
I love fruit.
Yeah.
And then about 3 months ago, I had some green grapes, and I got to tell you, man, they are green grapes are strong.
Do you want me to change your life? Have you had cotton candy grapes? Life changing. I don't know how they taste like cotton candy, but they do. They don't always have them in stock. Not every grocery store carries them. But
are they injecting them with sugar?
No,
they just grow naturally like that.
Mm-hmm. When I say they're so good, you'll eat the entire bunch.
Is that the kind of fruit that Hulk was talking about, brother?
Maybe. I mean, I had an apple yesterday too. Wow. When I say I never eat fruit, I'm not a fruit person. Love vegetables. Live on vegetables. Don't eat a lot of fruit.
I love fruit.
Bananas are too much.
I love melons. Melons are my favorite fruit. Any kind of melon.
Didn't Bill Clinton say that?
Hell, I don't know.
Maybe that was Saturday Night Live, Bill Clinton.
Well, he does.
I know.
We know he does. I love any watermelon, cantaloupe, melon.
Ew.
Honeydew.
No,
I love them all.
You do not like honeydew.
Yes, I do.
You are the bottom feeder of
you're
fruit
wrong.
eaters.
Listen, nope, stop. If you find a good honeydew, it is better than everything else.
False.
There is nothing better than a good Now, a bad honeydew is bad. But if you get a good one, there is no fruit that's better.
I'm
telling you right now.
a citrus fan. I like the citrus. I don't like tart fruits. I don't like tart blackberries, tart blueberries, but citrus.
Love citrus.
Hard on your teeth, though.
Love citrus. Texter says, "Oh, Amy, once again, you could not be more wrong. You are a huge fruit person." I don't know what that means, but it sounds like an insult.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they know me better than I know myself, and I love berries and citrus, and bananas are dense, though.
And another texter tells us champagne grapes. They must be delicious. I don't know what champagne grapes.
I'm going to try those. I think I've heard of those.
And we're told about Bing cherries.
Oh, yeah, Bing cherries are good.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, those are good. They're just cherries.
Okay. They didn't do a duet with David Bowie. Bing.
Go.
That's who that is? Bing Cherry? Didn't he do a duet? A Christmas duet?
He did.
All right. When we come back, the Midday Midlife continues this week. We're going to have a conversation with Julie Tristan from KZK and Y98, and we'll talk about the challenges of dating somebody who has their own children when you don't, because that does apply to a lot of people. We'll talk to Julie next on KMOX.
The Dave Glover Show.
If you sit down with me and we talk about who I am, what I am, my values, political, voting record, you're never going to walk away and go, that guy's a bleeding heart progressive. I'm just not stupid. And I just don't take bait. And I just don't do things because you tell me to, or that I'm afraid that if I don't, fall in line or get on the bandwagon, people aren't going to like me. Been there, done that for years.
The Dave Glover Show, now on FM 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Zero Res. It's National Carpet Cleaning Month, and because of Zero Res's commitment to the DGS, you're going to get 3 rooms of carpeting clean plus 1 free plus $50 off your air duct services. 314-474-2020, ZeroResSTL.com.
This is Mason Wynn of the Cards. Community America asked me to tell you what it feels like on Profit Payout Day, when our members get a portion of the profits. I'm thinking it probably feels like opening day. Exciting, new, or even better, I bet it feels like playing the star shortstop who turns a game-winning double play. And the fans go wild. They ask for selfies with you and autographs. You get a lifetime supply of free stadium hot dogs. Yep, that's basically what it feels like when you get your profit payout. Community America Credit Union, invested in you.
Oh, doctor, it's hot. 92 degrees. The AccuWeather real feel is 111. The extreme heat warning in effect until 7 o'clock tonight. The weather brought to you by Financial and Tax Strategies.
It's never too early to start thinking about your retirement journey, and it's never too late either. You just need to know that the steps may look a little different. Listen to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg, Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Insurance companies often have a basic strategy: delay, deny, defend. Some try to grind you down, but they have another tremendous weapon, a software called Colossus. They know which attorneys are great and which are not so great. They know who is likely to take the last offer and who will take them by their scalp, kicking and screaming to trial. They know that they have to pay some firms early and fairly. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The insurance companies have done their homework. Before you hire a lawyer for your injury case, do yours. Visit forthepeople.com and see our settlements and verdicts for cases like yours. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. When you hire the wrong firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Ready to make lake life a reality? With Anywhere Lombardo at Lake of the Ozarks, you can build a home designed just for you. Whether it's a cozy retreat or a luxurious lakeside escape, our custom designs bring your vision to life, set against stunning lake views and peaceful surroundings. The perfect balance of relaxation and adventure. With a trusted builder backed by long-standing vendor relationships, you'll enjoy cost savings and superior quality from start to finish. Start your dream home today with Anywhere Lombardo. Visit lombardohomes.com to learn more.
Hospital Sisters Health System isn't just in your community. We're part of it. Expert care and genuine support backed by a network that puts your health first. HSHS, connected to our community, committed to your health. Visit hshs.org/caring.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Seichmann Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, or is it Y98? It's very difficult to tell because we have Julie Tristan in studio with us right now. Julie, how are you doing?
Or KZK, because I'm on both stations.
Oh my gosh, you're everywhere.
And now I'm on KMOX.
And how are you doing both at the same time?
I can't reveal my secret.
I can tell you what, though. Every time I get my nails done, every time I go to the dentist, every time I go grocery shopping, it's the voice
She's on in the
of
lobby.
Julie Tristan.
That makes me really happy and excited.
That you are everywhere.
Thanks
everywhere.
for having me. I'm so excited to be on this big, amazing show.
Okay.
She doesn't know, does she?
You know, she does not. She's just now about to find out. She's like, I've heard so much. This sucks.
She was walking
but
through
she-
the newsroom and people are like, oh, where are you? Where are you going? Well, going on the Chris and Amy show. And I'm sure you got a lot of like strange looks. Like, why is she lowering herself to join Chris and Amy?
So everybody knows you as being really nice around. You're so nice, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody knows that about. So when you're not nice, what do you do? Like, how do we know when you're not nice?
I don't think I'm nice ever. So I don't know why people think I'm so nice all the time.
What?
You always win the nice award.
We have awards at
Yeah.
Odyssey, St. Louis,
Yeah.
and she wins every one every quarter.
I do, but you should ask my brother how nice I am, and he will not agree with that
Well,
award.
you're never going to believe who we have behind that door.
Jason, you jerk, come in here. Just
So, Julie, as you know, we've been doing the midday midlife all week long, talking about the issues that we face when we're 35, 40, 45, because it's a pretty weird time in
Yeah.
life. I was saying, you could be 43 and have a kid in college, or you could have a brand new baby, or you could be getting married for the first time or the second time, or taking care of little kids or taking care of your parents. And so yesterday we talked about, well, at this time, there's divorce and at this age, you see that maybe you're getting back into the dating world. And if you're dating at this age, there's a chance you might be dating someone who has kids, which can be an intimidating factor. Ron, you said you never even thought about it for a
Didn't
while.
even consider it until I moved here. I'm like, well, I guess that's what there is.
But whatever you would like to share, you were dating someone with kids. Now you guys are happily married.
Yep.
Kind of like maybe walk us through. Was that something you had been always open to or not open to? Or because there's a lot that goes into it when it's not just you and the significant other.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank God for divorce, because I got to have my husband because his ex-wife did not see his worth like I do. So I love divorce. I'm like, yes, I get to have this man now. He's all mine. You lost him. Now he's mine.
Clip that audio clip.
Isn't divorce the best?
Divorce is the best, man. And so I had never dated a guy with kids. He was my very first guy that I've dated with children. I always just found guys, I guess, somehow without kids. And then when I started dating him, I was like, okay, well, this is different. And so then I didn't meet the kids until probably 6 months into our relationship. And the kids are great. The older one he took the divorce very hard. And if he could have his way, he would have his parents back together.
Yeah.
And my joke always is, whenever I first moved in with my husband, he used to call me the stranger. He's like, there's a stranger living in my house. And my husband is awesome. He goes, that's not a stranger. That's my wife.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you for sticking up for me with this freaking kid.
That's
So,
hard though.
It is hard.
I mean, that's emotional.
It is hard. I was just telling my friends, I was like, just like the guy is like, okay, well, I'm going to wait to introduce you to like my kids. I feel like I should get to meet the kids earlier so I can decide if I want to continue this relationship based on these children, because it is very difficult. Kids make the world very difficult, especially when they're not your children.
That's really interesting because my assumption is most people do it the other way around.
Yeah.
You meet the person, you figure out if you like the person, then you get introduced to the kids.
Yeah.
Because, you don't want to get there too early and then the kids maybe get attached to you and then it doesn't work out and then they get confused, right?
Yeah.
So that's a really tough balance to reach, is trying to figure out when to meet them, but also meet them soon enough that you can make a decision
right
for yourself.
And I met him when I was 41 and he was like 39, I think. And I never had a kid. And so I was like thinking, oh, I wanted my career. I wanted to, like when I was a kid, I wanted a good career and I wanted to help rescue dogs. Like that was my dream as a kid, never to be a mom. I was just figured I would, because you're a woman and that's what you're supposed to do, obviously. And then I just like accomplished those goals, helped a lot of dogs, I have a great career. And then I just never really met the right guy. I was engaged before and that broke up. And I dated this guy for 8 years and he cheated on me. And so I kissed a lot of frogs to find this prince finally. Yeah. But then I find this prince, like the most amazing guy. He's a firefighter, so he helps other people. And then I was like, okay, well, this is the guy. I'm going to have a kid now, because that's what you're supposed to do. And I was like, might as well. And I always thought it'd be cool to see what my kid would look like. So let's have one. But then he was like, kids are really hard and I don't want anymore. So that's something that I, continue to deal with and try to be okay with the fact that I don't get to have a kid because he doesn't want anymore. And there's a really good book for a lot of women who are older that don't have kids. It's very basically called Women Without Kids. It's by author Ruby Harrington. And it helps you kind of come to terms with the fact that you're going to be one of those women that don't have children of your own. And she said something interesting. She said 80%, which is a huge number of women that don't have children, don't have them for a situational reason. They were sick. Their body couldn't do it. They tried IVF. It didn't work.
Yep.
Maybe they didn't meet somebody. Maybe they met somebody. And like me, he didn't want to have any more kids. So there's only 20% of women without kids that were like, this is what I don't want them. But a lot of women, most of them, they just couldn't have it for one reason. So that's why it's a very tough thing for women to come to terms with, because you're raised with, you're going to grow up, you're going to get married, you're going to have kids. And then when you don't, you're like, hold on a minute.
So how are you navigating that you've got this guy that you really, really love, right?
Yeah.
And you would never give him up.
Right.
But also you have this other thing that you now would like to have done and you're not going to get that. I mean, how are you balancing that?
Therapy. Like my therapist. It's I go through like waves of it, where you're like, okay with it. And then something will bubble up and then you're like, gosh, like this is it, Whenever he told me he didn't want to have kids, I was like, well, I'm not going to let you stop me from having kids. Let me go talk to like the IVF direction and maybe I'll get a sperm donor and do it without you. And so I talked to the IVF people and they're like, well, when you get over 40, it gets really hard. They're like, you have a less than 5% chance if you did IVF. Each time you do it, it's like $20,000. She said you could do it 3 times and be out $60,000 and still not have a kid. So, and then I'd be doing it by myself because he doesn't really want one. Yeah. So,
and it's an emotional and physical toll.
Exactly.
Having friends who have done it. It sounds so easy when we throw phrases out there like IVF, but the hormones you have to take, what it does to your body emotionally, financially, everything. It's a huge.
2 of my best friends are doing it now. It's very, it's very a difficult. Lot. Right. It is a lot.
So again, and gosh, we could talk to you for a long time about this, but dealing with having kids of your own, or deciding not to have kids of your own situationally, but even now, not being their mom, and every situation is different with how much the mom's involved or in the picture or not in the picture, but did you have to talk about house rules and expectations for the kids, and what are your expectations and what are his? Because you can't go in and be the strictest person, but what if you're stricter than the mom and dad?
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, so how did you handle that?
It's definitely was a difficult adjustment because my parents were, well, my mom was very strict.
Yeah.
But like not in a difficult way.
Yeah.
In a don't act like a fool and you won't be in trouble, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like my husband and I are on the same page a lot with how we parent the children, because I also get to parent them when they're over there because they live under my roof now too. And I don't want to have to deal with some crazy child cussing or doing whatever they want. So when they come over our house, my husband and I have to have similar parenting styles, which sounds weird because it's like I'm a parent, you know, from like a couple of years ago. But
do you think you'd almost have to have similar styles to acquire children that aren't yours? You know, similar styles to the dad already, right? Because you can't be completely different than him.
Because my best friend got married and she was more strict than her husband was because he's like, I don't feel like dealing with it. And she's like, no, they can't, like, they have to do chores. You can't say bad words. You have to be a good person. And they butted heads a lot when it comes to the kids. Kids can really just cause relationships to fail.
Mhm.
I mean, I hate saying that, but it's so true. Like the only time me and my husband get in arguments, usually it's around the children, not around the children, but about the kids or about the ex-wife. I wouldn't recommend that at all. Because whenever they have kids, you're dealing with the mother all the time.
Right.
She will never go away.
Yeah.
Man, I hope she's listening.
I think it's so important.
I'm never going to
Hey,
tell
go
everybody.
away, lady.
Julie, I think it's so important though, because so many people
You're listening. Go away. Leave
There's that
Julie
nice
alone.
Julie again, being nice again.
No, but people think love conquers all.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't conquer kids and an ex-wife. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
just being honest, it is so complicated. And I agree with what you said about needing to be aligned because, you know, even if you are stricter, and I don't even like that word, like you said, because it seems like it's being strict, imposing rules just for the heck of it. But it's no, here's what you think is best for kids. Then once you start having relationships, you build a relationship with those kids, you care about them, you love them, you want rules and expectations because you want them to thrive. And then if you see what you believe to be self-destructive behavior and you can't say anything or don't feel that you have the right to say something, that's really
And I
difficult.
hate that even to even think about that. Like you don't have the right to say anything like that.
Right.
It's really annoying and frustrating.
But also, you can't just let them walk all over you because they belong to somebody else and you don't want to upset
Exactly.
them.
Exactly.
Like you're still a
Exactly.
human and they got to treat you right.
You have to walk this weird
Wow.
line whenever they're not your kids, but you still don't want them to treat you a certain way.
Right.
Were you nervous about the first time? And I don't know if you've had to put your foot down with them. Have you done that? Were you nervous about it? You know, like that's a intimidating situation.
It is. It is. I mean, and sometimes you're like, did I put my foot down too much?
Yeah.
Was I too like strict about it? I mean, I probably did, but it is such a learning lesson. Like I do feel for parents because you have no idea what you're doing. And especially when I just kind of started, it's like, I have no idea what I'm doing either. But sometimes I do have to be like, just kind of let him parent. And then, I don't know, as long as it seems like he's doing making them act right.
Right.
I don't know. So you have to kind of just step back a little bit because they're not your kids.
It's the kind of thing you just probably have to continue to process
You do.
all the time. And it probably never ends. You know, because the theme of the week that Amy and I are doing here with the Midday Midlife is you get to this point in your life, you know, 35, 40, 45, and it's almost like you start to have regrets. And I think my contention is 99% of us do, even if we are in a good career, a good situation, like you've got a great career, great situation.
Yeah.
Do you have those?
For sure. I do regret that I didn't like just have a kid earlier. Just like find some guy and have a kid earlier. You know, that way I would have the kid. But then I'm like, I don't know. You just have to work on, like, is it the worst thing that you don't have a child? My mother-in-law is like the sweetest lady ever. And when she was a kid, all she wanted was to grow up and be a mom. She wanted to grow up, be a mom, done and done. That's what she did. I never had that dream. I just figured I would because you're supposed to. That's what we do. So that's what I work on with my therapist. She's like, just because society says every woman is supposed to have a kid, and if you don't, what did you ever really accomplish? Is that really true? I mean, I have had a great career. I'm very involved in nonprofits. I've adopted 16 dogs and helped so many senior dogs that were just thrown away by people. And I'm like, doesn't that matter that I've like helped something like that just because I don't have a kid? Now I'm like, well, what did you really do? It's just that's what it feels like society says, you know?
As long as you don't feel that way. And that's what you
that's why I go to my therapist because it bubbles up. I'm like, do I feel
because it's true.
And it's not. I mean, I don't have kids. I'm 42 and I'm not going to have kids. And I always thought I would. And that was something working through that you realize, oh my gosh. And like you said, your society kind of puts that pressure on you, but it's like, okay, it's a reassessment that I'm doing right now. It's not going to happen, but I've done a lot and now my adventure looks different. And that's how I'm viewing it is the next part of my life is going to be a different adventure. And you've done so many adventures and have so many ahead of you, so many more ahead of you. You have so much you've contributed.
Julie,
Thank you. You guys need to look at this book, Women Without Kids, Ruby Harrington. It makes you feel so much better about not having kids.
Julie Tristan, we love your perspective. Thank you for coming in and talking to us. And what's it like 3 months until Christmas tunes start?
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Let's start next month.
Let's
it's
go.
Almost August.
Julie Tristan, Y98, KAZK, you're the best. You are so nice. Tell everybody. Tell everybody how nice you are.
She's nice.
Yeah, she's nice.
Right, Jason. Thanks for letting me be on your
Thank
show.
you, Julie.
This is the highlight of my life.
See? I can't tell if she's putting us on or what. Julie Tristan, KAZK, Y98. This is the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Chris Ranji for Siteman Cancer Center, and you have to know that you are somebody's favorite person, and your health matters not just to you, but it matters to people who care about you. Getting screened early for any cancer, whether it's colon or breast cancer, prostate cancer, or lung cancer, it is important to do that. Siteman has set up a website called GetScreenedNow.com. And when you go to it, it's going to help you find a location nearer you. If you live a little farther out from St. Louis and don't want to make the trip into the city, you can get screened closer to home. GetScreenedNow.com, because for me, I'm over 45. It's time for that colonoscopy. Third leading cause of cancer-related deaths in both men and women. And GetScreenedNow.com will help you find a location that is good for you. Doing it early, really, really important. GetScreenedNow.com.
The KMOX City FC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. It's the Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill on Lindbergh, Thursday, August 7th. A limited number of fans can get an autograph or a picture with City SC defensive midfielder Jake Gerwood-Wright. Register to win great prizes. Enjoy great food and a cold drink. Hot Shots on Lindbergh, the place to be Thursday, August 7th from 5 till 7 p.m. for the City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus, offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
This is Glover. Right now, choose from payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no payments and no interest, plus a free in-home window and energy assessment. Call 314-334-2522. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
We started Neovitin because we wanted to create a multivitamin for ourselves. That's why we focus on quality ingredients and formulas with our multivitamins. Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins are formulated with over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our 4-ingredient physician-formulated proprietary blend for the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins a try for yourself. Find them at your local Schnucks, Deerbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it.
100% on time, 100% guaranteed, 100% wow. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath delivers all that, all in 3 days. Here's how it works. Create a kitchen idea, give them 3 days, and suddenly your kitchen becomes the centerpiece of your home. A place where everyone gathers no matter how much room you have in the house. Every project is 100% on time, 100% guaranteed, and 100% wow. Invest in your family and your home. Invest in a kitchen with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. 3-Day Kitchen offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee and will complete the job to your liking, guaranteed. They're in and out of your home in 3 days or less with top quality products and a great crew. And they're finished on time with no delays. Get details now. Start at 3daykitchenandbath.com. That's the number 3, then daykitchen.com. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Just a couple of minutes before we got to say goodbye. Gas House Gang is coming up. Bernie Miklasz and me. And then it is Will Leach and Danny Cox, former Cardinals pitcher. We got Mike Schultz, former Cardinals manager, now with the Padres. All of those people will be on the show, which is starting in just about a little less than 10 minutes. So we hope you stick around for that. Oh, by the way, we got to the end of it, Amy. Lost Wax, the band that Jim Belushi is performing with, apparently is a band from Olathe, Kansas.
Olathe, Kansas.
Lost Wax. So Jim Belushi is in town, and he's in St. Charles now, actually, and then he'll be in Pacific at 2:00 at that Verts dispensary, and then tomorrow in the Ozarks, and he's performing with Lost Wax.
Wonder who's driving him around. That's a lot of driving.
Probably
St. Charles to Pacific to the Ozarks.
That was here with Belushi's farm.
Think he's driving him?
Yeah, it's got to be.
You
but
think
he was
he's driving
really
in one of those like farm pickup trucks with the fences around the cab in the back?
I hope so.
You know how the farm pickup trucks
Yes.
have like the wooden fence?
Yes.
Yeah,
I love those.
I do too.
He was really good too. I enjoyed talking to him.
Really
Jim Belushi
interesting.
came into studio here today.
You brought up, we didn't even talk about his brother John Belushi.
We did not. I wonder if he appreciates it. You know, he had his own career. He was in a lot of movies. He was in a lot of stuff. He's done Blues Brothers stuff. I sometimes, like, I want to ask him about his brother, but sometimes I feel like maybe those people who have famous siblings
Get tired of it?
Yeah, get tired of talking about them because they want to talk about their own thing. Like I'm not just John Belushi's brother, right?
Right. Although I will say, I love that it was Dan Aykroyd who gave him the idea to grow
weed.
To start Belushi Farms. Danny Aykroyd told him to do it.
That's
I think
so great.
That's an ultimate name drop. Well, I started it because Danny Aykroyd told me to. That's kind of awesome.
Go back and catch that interview. It's on the podcast Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. Our conversation with Jim Belushi, Major Garrett. We have Julie Tristan on the show. It was a good show. You should go back.
Are you going to talk about Ali Marble?
Ali Marble? Yeah, we're going to talk about Ali Marble when we come back.
Well, he was a great call, though, and he has a great radio voice.
Who was it?
Joe.
Joe talking
Joe
about
was
who?
awesome.
Who's he talking?
He's talking about Ali Marble.
Marble.
Yeah,
I like it.
All right, Gas House Gang coming up next. Amy and I back with you tomorrow at 9:00 with Hancock and Kelly on 104.1 FM KMOX.